Yo, yo, yo. Still special. Tuesday night, Dynasty Daddy trade show. Had the super special Sunday rookie draft special, but we're still hitting the rookie mocks all day. And I know we've got some real life rookie draft picks to make. I believe you're on the clock in Alpha Daddy.
I am.
And I think I'm right after you, actually. I might even pull up your squad, do a little breakdown, see how bad, what is it, the 108, right?
Yeah, I'm on 108 right now in Alpha Daddy. I mean,
Brutal.
I wish Sleeper would notify me better, because like during draft, like you get notifications for draft picks, like a bunch of chats always popping off, and it's usually the only ones I see are the ones when it's like, oh, at this person you're on the clock. But I'm like, I need them to be more clear, because the amount of times I like open up the app and it's like, wait a minute, I'm on the clock. Especially
or when you have notifications for just like chat messages.
Drafting, yeah, it's like when it says drafting, I wish it was like on the clock instead of just drafting, like on the sidebar.
We'll put together a list.
I need to go there.
Let's compile in the joint. Yeah. Link in the description in the Discord. We'll get all the
Sleeper
feedback.
Reach out to me.
We'll get one email. I'll make sure they read it. High importance. We'll get there. What's good? How we doing? I see Justin Rose in the chat. Quick, let's get into it. Did a pre-draft trade on my start 9 Superflex PPR contender team. Sent the 27 first and the 204 for Olave, knowing damn well Saints could draft wide receiver. Roast me. Hey, I'm with you. I sent some trades for, actually included a 27 first as well for Olave. Now, granted, it also was, I mean, I had to pause for a second and make sure this wasn't my home league friend roasting me, because it is a start 9 Superflex PPR contender team that I sent a 27 first and Olave for. But it was actually worse. It was the 108 and a 27 first I sent for Olave in a start 9. And I've got a pretty strong contending team. Wide receivers where I was the weakest. But I don't even know, man. Maybe it's stop me if it's copium. Rising tide, raising all ships. Tyler Shook, year 2. I don't think it's necessarily like a death sentence to Olave top, 15 wide receiver season upside. I'm still excited about Kellen Moore, Saints, Tyler Shook year 2. I just think good offensive schemes, good offensive systems. I mean, yeah, sure. The end of the season where Olave is getting like 14 targets. I think the Tyson might eat more into all the Juwan Johnson usage we saw at the end of last season more than it will Olave.
Yeah, I mean, I think Olave, there's enough mouths to feed, and it's not like there's a ton of concentrated targets to high value weapons and a ton of high investment. We know Olave is good. The biggest concern about Olave is just health. And I mean, I think while the concussions are certainly concerning, most players in the NFL are one scary hit away from, having the similar conversations. And unfortunately, that's part of the game. So
I'm not ready for the injury memes. I'm really not ready for the injury memes with the Saints wide receiver room. That's just going to be brutal. Like the first questionable we get for one of those guys, it's going to be like, ugh.
I just remember too, like listening to, I think it was the Bill Simmons pre-draft stuff. And it was like, okay, I've listened to so much draft stuff. I'm like, whatever. Like none of the analysis to me was like shocking or new. But he did, because they do a lot of NBA stuff. And they said, the Pelicans owner is also the Saints owner. Pelicans are historically known for their terrible health and conditioning in the NBA. And I'm like, I never heard that about the Saints, but I'm also just like, uh-oh, like maybe it does make sense that there's injury issues with a lot of players down there. But it's the gumbo, it's all this, it's the good eating. It's hard to stay fit.
Yeah, I'm with it. And the man, all the Mike Evans stuff too. I'm not even gonna get into the Niners facility stuff there, but I don't think it's bad. And too, like the 27 first, like I think the hype, and we're already getting the 2027 early mocks where people are counting the number of fantasy relevant positions that are mocked from Mel Kiper's early mocks. And to me, like, don't you just wish? I assume it's on a contending team. Don't you just hope that your 105, 106, 107, even in a good class, turns into a Chris Olave type asset, year 2, year 3? So, like, why wouldn't I just, bank that in and just use that production for, this year and on? Don't feel bad about it, man. 27 firsts are gold, but Matthew Olave.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris Olave
the
is
hard part
golden.
is the 27 part of it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Olave in that range is bad. I mean, if you're buying an Olave at a first plus price point, you probably have a pretty comfortable team going into 2027. You're going to make that the 106. You're shooting for 108 plus.
Yeah.
And I think the class is going to be really great. Like 2027, I think the high end talent's already stacked. People already know who's there, who's to get excited about.
Yeah.
I do think you're going to have the reality that we have in this modern NIL era, where a lot of these day 2 picks and day 3, are going to make more money just going back to college and re-roll and see if they can improve their draft capital if they have extra eligibility. So I think you're going to see that a lot more. And those later picks are going to probably be hit or miss in a lot of classes. You're not going to really know until closer to the draft class if there's enough talent declaring, because we know the high end's there, 2027, right? The Arch, the Cam Coleman, Jeremiah Smith, we know those names. When it's like, who's the 109 in 2027? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be good. I mean, we might be looking in.
Will it be better than Jets Omar Cooper?
Jets Omar Cooper. I imagine it will be better than what we have here, but will it be better than Olave? Probably not.
Yeah. And with this team too, like, yes, start 9 shallow, and I think there's some merit when you have a strong contending team holding on to the first for flexibility. But I think Olave is the type of asset I'm probably doing that for. Jamar Chase, but then DJ Moore, Marv, no other receivers mentioned here. So I mean, you're probably already locking in Olave weekly in your starting lineup, even though there's Bills DJ Moore hype. Low key, think another wide receiver on the Saints will actually help Olave. Hey, the Copium brothers, we're uniting. Let's go. I'm with it. Traded Odunze.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing.
I think the Omega Copium is like, he's just gonna get hurt anyway, so it's like he's not even there. No, Olave, like,
it's Devon Melee breakout. That's what's happening.
Right. Oscar Delp. Traded Odunze, a 105 and a 27 first, and the 305 and a 27 third for Gibbs and Evans. Ooh. 105, 27
leagues?
first. I think I would want to know the format. Is the only way, like a deeper starting format, like we're pushing towards like 11 and 12, that like having the Odunze, the 105 and the 27 first shot. But that is definitely the price for Gibbs, is 105 in this class and a first, and like an Odunze level. I'm a Lions fan, so it's hard for me to not just take the contending side and say, hey, that 27 first is going to be late. I just got Jahmyr Gibbs and Mike Evans on the Niners, so I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, the 105, you're looking at Lemon, Tyson. Like, if I'm a contender, give me Gibbs, give me the upside. I just put together a video today that will be going out sometime, kind of talking about the new Patreon exclusive captured war metric. And just the value of an elite running back in a league where you have to start players is so significant. And the fact that you're locking in Gibbs, who's young, has a ton more years ahead of him, and is in one of the best offensive situations in the league. It's not even like a Bijan. Right? I love Bijan, but that situation is weird in Atlanta. You never know what you're going to get. In Detroit, you're going to get one of the best teams to not make the playoffs last year. A great offense.
That's messed up.
Well, not everyone can be the Panthers.
I'm with it. All right, I'm pausing. I'm hitting the this is the schedule. All right, we're gonna crank out some questions. We're going to
crank it,
rip a mock, and then we're gonna make Jeremy make his Alpha Daddy pick, and I'll make my Alpha Daddy pick too. So if anyone's in here wondering why Jeremy hasn't made his selection in Alpha Daddy, I think half it's because he didn't know he was on the clock, and half because for the content. All right, we with it?
For the I was lazy for the content.
There we go. Beautiful. I love this. Cut down season was offered. A 29 fourth for Luke Musgrave, to which I counter nothing. Zilch nada for Musgrave, and $1. And then I see later rejected. Aw, nuts, dude. Cut down season is legit, man. I've got the rebuilders sending me out players for my like second round picks that I have distinctly lined them up to go on my taxi squad because of how shallow the like bench and rosters are in some of these leagues. And I'm countering back with like, I'm not even countering. I'm saying, brother, like you need to take some of my scrubs versus these picks. I've calculated this out. What's up, Kai? How we doing? Ooh, Panthers question. Does the Panthers fan have any insight on their running back room? Might be looking for Brooks Copium. Not gonna lie, I saw that report that he feels close to 100%. Is that was the most recent?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think all things considered, he's played maybe 10 snaps in 2 years. So I think he's almost 100%. Should be maybe a little bit higher. Should definitely be the best shape of his life at this point. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Brooks is nothing, but it's still Chuba time, right? You still expect Chuba to get his. I expect Brooks to be worked in slowly. And I doubt he'll ever get a significant true bell cow workload or anything of like ethering Chuba unless his efficiency falls off a cliff. But I do think you got to be pretty happy drafting offensive tackle. Now that Icky being out the entire year, it's like they actually addressed that. Now, to be honest, Icky wasn't the best pass protector, but he was a pretty good run blocker. So I expect the run game to be probably a little bit worse as they slowly get back into it. But it's always good to have Brooks. I think Brooks will certainly be involved. It won't be like a Trevor Achane situation where it's just a special team guy. They drafted Brooks in the second round. He's played like one game and got injured. There's no reason to not be optimistic, but like, yeah, I'm not. You're not sitting on like it's not sitting on like Michael Penix or something for a year like Ty Simpson, and it's like, well, once he gets a start, I'll be able to flip him. I mean, like he is what he is at this point.
The thing with Brooks too, and I mean in this class, like Brooks is a pretty. I feel the same way about the Brooks bet as I do like the Katron Allen, like Singleton bet in terms of like, am I going to spend my late second, third round picks on random wide receivers in this class that the draft capital lining up with the hit rates is not great with the situations. So I think like totally fine to make upside bets, but I'm not going out of my way expecting to have meaningful production from Brooks in, any kind of league this year, but we'll see. I know we're on like the cheap Chuba bandwagon, I feel like. And that's just, we're kind of like, I was about to call us garbage men, but I don't want to like that's not what I was going for. Shout out to all the garbage men out there working hard. Backbones of society, garbage men. Imagine if your garbage ever got collected.
It is trash day. It's trash and recycle day. This is how I know I'm old. It's like because recycle comes every other week, and when the recycle day hits, I'm bringing out 2 trash cans. It's a different level. It's a weird dopamine hit.
Well, I was gonna say we're scavengers, but in the garbage is where we're scavenging. Where we were like, we're all in on Aaron Jones the past couple years, diving. James Conner. Yes, there we go. We're the garbage people. Ready for the mocks? Let's go. So I've got the link. If you guys want to join, we'll rip through these questions while people are getting in the rookie mock, and then we'll get the Alpha Daddy pick. Real life Dynasty action. Someone offered you something from Musgrave and you didn't take it. I think it was the other way around. It's cut down season, and somebody was trying to get off their Musgrave for a 4th. Is how I read that.
Yeah, I have a few rosters. I not to spoil the excitement, but if you're in the Dynasty Daddy Club, you get early access to certain features and previews of what I'm working on. And one thing I've been working on is updating the start sit tool with the sleeper integrations to be able to just click a button and automatically update your starting lineups. And then you can even take it one step further of clicking at the top and be like, hey, update every lineup that I have with one click. And that's really cool. But I do get a bunch of those, like going through it on my leagues. It's like, oh, sorry, you have too many people on IR. And I'm like, oh, God. So it is cut down season in some of those leagues where it's just inactive.
I need commissioner
holding on guys.
Do you set any sort of rule? What the nice thing about that with Sleeper is waiver acquisitions. So when waivers open up post rookie draft, I think that is kind of a way for people to kind of police themselves to be within the confines of, a certain number. But do you police that at all until the actual season starts in any leagues you commission, or does anyone do that as a commissioner in your leagues?
Not really. I mean, I think it kind of happens naturally.
Yeah.
With, and I think the draft is fine, right? Like, I know some platforms, it's like you have to make the cuts before you get players added to your roster post draft. But I think usually the leagues I have is just you open up waivers, and it's like, well, I don't want all these old crusties on my roster. I'd rather pick up more interesting bets in the offseason than hold on to my Musgraves and players that, like I have some rosters that I just haven't checked, and it's like, oh God, like I still have Zay Jones or something. It's like, just like a desperation start player that I had. So I think it's kind of a problem that usually just resolves itself, unless if like you maybe have super deep benches and there's nothing on waivers to kind of incentivize people to keep dipping into the waiver pool.
Yeah. And it's almost always the receiver guys. It's not happening for Calvin Austin versus, your running back that's one injury away. I'm talking to myself, by the way. I got to make some cuts.
I have some 60% Zay Jones. He's still got it.
If anybody wants to join and wants a spot specifically, like Jeremy is the 112 and I have the 105, if you want us to move around, let us know. I'll hop around for you guys. A man of the people, the people's champ, I believe. All right, this is, I feel like this was the biggest scare for people, is Jonah Coleman to the Broncos. Buzz about short yardage, buzz about pass protection. What are y'all's thoughts on RJ Harvey? I'm a little worried with Denver drafting Coleman. We talked about this a little bit last year, where you think Harvey is just kind of penciled in to the same kind of role he had last year with Dobbins, and there isn't really an expectation for him to eat enough into that, where he's the early down grinder, has part of the goal line role, and is kind of this, gadget, potential third down guy.
Yeah, he kind of gives me, I don't want to say it, but he's like the Amazon Basics Henderson, where you can't rely on him. Like, he's kind of a best ball running back, and there's not many of them. Where the RJ Harvey spike weeks where he has a crazy game, you want those. But it's not someone that you're like, oh, he's always going to get 15 carries, 3 targets, and someone that you're like sick. That was a great floor. So, and like Henderson in a way is kind of like the Ferrari version of that, where we've seen, I mean, he was like top 2, maybe even 1, I don't know, in rookie rushing yards last year from those massive spike games he had. But you need the floor to be able to start some of these players. You can't just have, the Gabe Davis of running backs just giving you 25 points or 2, because that's going to burn your team most of the time.
Yeah, a little. I mean, I don't know if that was a natural transition if we're kind of lobbing back and forth, but I know you started adding some captured war to the site. I don't know if you want to talk about that for a second while we're waiting on a person or two, please.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to release the video I made for it tomorrow on the channel so everyone can watch it. And it's just kind of it's interesting. Like we have the league format tool that pulls in your settings, your league, all your information, and it kind of gives you the wins over replacement, against replacement, however you like to say it, for your league. But the hard part with that is you have to start those players to actually capture that war. So what I did was, over the offseason, been pulling in more data, updating the site. We now have historical start percentages for every player on the site. And we can say, oh, week 6, yes, Parker Washington had 35 fantasy points, but he was started in 6% of leagues. That's not a percentage that in this format would, really make it to a starting lineup realistically. And using that, we can map out, okay, if you are starting players, how does that look like? And it's really interesting. I think it's more of the more I got into it, it's more of kind of a testament of projections and what projections tend to hit more than not. Because usually that's what we're looking at when we're setting lineups, is projection rankings, like who should score more matchups. And it really is like the running backs versus the replacement level running backs. It is like night and day versus other positions. In most leagues I saw where it was, you have the top 20 running backs. That is massive. And I thought it would also be quarterbacks. I also thought quarterbacks would have a significant boost because, well, in a lot of those super flex leagues, you had to start 2. But since there's 32 quarterbacks starting every single week and you only need to start 2 versus, running back spots and flex spots, you're starting so many running backs in a week-to-week basis. It's certainly interesting to kind of look at it all and kind of think about it. It's just like something that you kind of noodle on while you're thinking about how do I want to roster construct. I think typical dynasty brain is like running backs suck. You don't need running backs. But I think it's kind of changed my mentality a little bit about trying to get those anchor running backs that are just true difference makers over like getting a CD Lamb where you're like, well, like he's good, but if Parker Washington or these other guys I can buy for much cheaper are giving me decent enough production, why am I paying that big price tag when if I look on all the sites, it's like, oh, CD Lamb, Jahmyr Gibbs, Devon Achane. Like it's all within that range of players that are significantly adding more WAR to my team.
Yeah, especially over the past couple seasons. I feel like it's been like 2 or 3 years in a row now, like the year of the running backs in terms of how people perceive. Like best ball is like a lens people use to kind of, I think, evaluate like what was the best draft strategy in terms of like how people built a team. And obviously that's really dependent on the last couple weeks of the season, but like redraft too. I think like the truly elite running back seasons that you get, and a lot of it I think has to do with like the running back role. Like we talk about all the time where running backs, even the Bijans of the world, do not dominate 90% of the workload. But the kind of workload that they have is like so impactful for how we score fantasy points, where it's, PPR, goal line, and then obviously enough of the between the 20s to, be a back that the explosive runs can hit based off of, whatever that running back's profile is. Guys, one more. Yeah, if you want a spot,
the Will Beg cam,
please. I'll go full screen, guys.
Please,
somebody. There we go. Shout out.
There we
Alpha
go.
male.
There we go.
JMJ, let's go. 10-minute timer.
10-minute timer. Let's run the clock down.
You know what this was? This is when Will makes a thumbnail and he doesn't want the picks to keep going and he's got to like screenshot the certain parts of the sleeper. That's the 10-minute timer behind the scenes.
When I have some mock drafts that are like linked to my account and it's just like 24-hour timer and it's only me and computers and it's just so I can test with my site. And
dude, the phone notifications.
Okay, yeah, I'll get random. You're on the clock, and then it's a league with no one in it.
All right, we did the price convo last week, and I have changed. Like if you go back and watch last week's 2 days ago, the
your price 104
hype. No. I'm talking about how early I took Stowers, and I think the first one we did. But man,
oh yeah,
Price over Mendoza, man. 12x11 Superflex. I don't know.
Price is easily the most interesting guy because I can see him going 104. And I was in the same predicament in one of my leagues. And in the league, I'll make the pick for after this, our Alpha Daddy League, where my team had two great quarterbacks, May, Jaden Daniels. I was at the 105. It was Mendoza or Jadarian Price. And I was like, Price would make sense for my team. But to me, I was like, I feel like the Mendoza piece is the right move. Like that's like the correct move.
We're going to talk about it. Speaking of the right correct move. All right, is it the Jets wide receiver or is it the quarterback that might not start for 3 seasons with potential Rams Stafford contract extension? Like this, it could be.
And then once McVay retires and then Vrabel, after resigning from the Patriots this year, comes back, has a reunion with the Rams.
Good question here. Scoring for this mock, top left, we've got 12x11 Superflex, plus 0.75 tight end premium. Ty Simpson versus Cooper. Here's the thing with the Ty Simpson versus Cooper. I find it very hard to believe that Cooper will matter year 1. But with that being said, with the upcoming quarterback class, I think there is hope for the Jets. But I've got them pretty neck and neck. I think it's really team situation dependent. Where like even Stowers might creep up there depending on like how crazy the tight end format is. All right, 112. What do we got here?
This is not fun.
It starts being fun, I think, in the second round again, because you don't feel like you're making a first round pick, you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't have. I mean, unfortunately, I don't have any 112s. Okay. Well, you know. No, I don't have to actually make this pick. I still think Denzel Boston.
Yeah.
Decent draft capital. It's not a great landing spot, but there's not a ton of weapons. The offense could somehow outperform what we're expecting, and maybe Denzel Boston's the reason.
This class for me, and we see Chris Bell at the 201 there, and I know we've got thoughts on Chris Bell at the 112. To me, I think, and I'm going to talk about this in a second. I think, honestly, any pick after, like, I'm going to put Ty Simpson up there in my like top 10 players in terms of like pure bets. Sadiq is a first round tight end, like pure bets. Cooper still a first round receiver. That's a bet. Simpson, first round quarterback, mid first, not even late first. Situation sucks, whatever, but in terms of pure bets, anything after the 110 for me, you do what you want, man. If it's Jonah Coleman for you at the 111 because of the, potential landing spot and situation, and he's the next J.K. Dobbins, go for it. If it's one of those wide receivers, Chris Bell, to me, I think most of the time, Boston and on is not a smash pick. So I think you go down swinging, whatever it is, if it's the running back. So that's why like a lot of the running backs have creeped up for me, where like I've got Jonah Coleman at my 112. Wait, no, he's my 201 right now, which I never would want to put a fourth round running back in my late first 201, but that's just the reality we live in, guys.
I will say, I think I took a Carson Beck 204 in one league.
Honestly, I get it.
But I was just like, what Pat, like,
206.
There's nothing interesting in that range.
Yeah. And I think a part of it too, somebody talked about Stribling, and I've kind of come around on Stribling a little bit. Am I crazy to target Stribling at the end of round 1? This is another one of those, like, I don't think so. Like, I know like how old the prospect is. I think, especially since we spent all this time, like all of us have spent all this time consuming content, watching for ourselves, prospecting these rookies, that like Stribling was so far out of the mind in terms of like potential fantasy producers, expected draft capital. But man, he went to the Niners. Like if no Juwan Jennings, most likely.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like decent
good run blocker.
Niners.
He's going to get on the field. That was the thing with Ayuk, man. Like Ayuk was not like a willing, great run blocker early on. Oh man. And I'm on the clock here.
I think too, just getting clowned by everyone. It's like, come on, man. Like they're gonna have a different level of investment to try to make these guys work.
Yeah. I'm trying to peek over at the coveted secret. You can't even pay to get these will ranks right now. And you know what? I've come around to it mentally. Stribling at the late second versus third round quarterback, tight end that I might even be able to get in the third most of the time. W pick, Will. W pick. Right, guys?
The Ayuk situation is just so weird to me.
Yeah, I expected to hear more about that. I mean, the Niners, do you think that just the pettiness of the whole situation, it's going to get drawn out until whenever it makes the least amount of sense for them to hold on to him?
I'm interested for like the documentary in like 5-10 years of just like what the hell happened, because like he had like 1.5 good years, got a big contract, and then the second he signed the contract, it was just different. I want to know like what happened behind the scenes.
All right, the Carson Beck guy. I'm not going to make you pick Beck here, but there is Mick McDaddy Pro. Would like to know your thoughts on Beck. He might have the best wide receiver, tight end, running back combo in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I think Beck is decent, like mid to late second round. Because here's the thing: it's Jacoby Brissett, right? Like that's their plan.
It's
And
Jacoby Brissett who
Brissett's
wants an
like, hey,
extension.
I'm going to get an extension. They might just be like, yeah, screw it.
Or a
right?
pay raise.
2027 class is good. If Beck sucks, we go get Arch. If he's good, he could be this year's Shuck, where everyone's like, we don't like him that much, and the weapons are better. It could be interesting. Do I think he will be? No, I don't think he's amazing. But if I look at the names in this range, do I think I could start Carson Beck 1 week during the season? I do think I could do that. And that's all that matters to me in this range.
The QB attrition thing too, and maybe it'll be different with how, like, these three quarterbacks. I mean, Simpson doesn't really fall into this because I don't think there's a realistic chance he starts other than an injury. But like Beck, Alar, I think. How do you think the perception is going to be on these guys if they get their starts midway through next season, even if the weeks are decent? Because I think the thing with Shuck is people pretty quickly put the 2 and 2 together that the Saints, especially with this quarterback class, we're not going to be bringing in competition for him. Obviously, like a really strong end of the season, you felt more confident in that. But do you think that'll even? You think that's even going to be people's perception, even if Beck or Alar put together a decent stretch at the end of the year? Somebody talked about, are the Steelers going to play themselves out of their 8-8 season, putting them out of the QB range?
Well, yeah, I think the Steelers probably will be, unless like something crazy happens and Steelers don't go 8-9 or 9-8 and make the playoffs and are a first round exit.
Yeah.
I think the Beck situation is interesting because I think if Beck just goes down swinging and they suck, sure, they might get another quarterback, or like there's other options out there. Now, do I think Beck will get multiple years? Probably not. I don't think he's that great. But this class is loaded. I keep seeing Dylan Stewart highlights on my feed. Like, there's a lot of other talent, elite talent that's not just fantasy football related. So you never know. I'm not going to plan on, I think the Tyler Shuck takeaway is, hey, just if you have a guy that has an opportunity, if he can make the most of it, and Beck has decent weapons, I might as well give him a shot. I mean, he played good against Ohio State and other teams during the college football playoffs as well.
Yeah. All right, as far as the running backs, thoughts on Singleton? Out of all the landing spots, I prefer his. Now, the interesting part, I believe, neither Spears or Pollard would be under contract heading into next season. But that is a lot of projecting for, when we start pushing like 5th, 6th, 7th round guys. But yeah, I mean, Titans, like, would not surprise me at all if, he's splitting work towards the end of the season.
Okay, well, you got 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm hitting Mike Washington. I mean, the landing spot, obviously, in terms of like him having a meaningful role. But man, we're at the 309. Roster construction wise, give me a potential, any RB, one injury away. And maybe I'm projecting because I'm considering taking Washington in the late second in a draft I'm in because I have Genty. And I'm usually not a handcuff guy.
I miss the I was looking at some old thumbnails of some of our videos, and one had Nussmeier.
That's the Senior Bowl MVP, Nussmeier. Okay.
Yeah, it was like
my
Nussmeier,
hope.
MVP.
Here's my hope is that, and I think a lot of the pro Nuss guys, it was injury related in terms of like how bad his last season was. Oh, it's got to be the Jolie. Do we even need to talk about the Jolie pick at the 312?
Do I need to mention he went to NC State?
But no, the Nuss stuff, dude, I just hope it comes out that he's just a huge a-hole is like my hope. And that he got Shador Sanders even harder.
Oh crap!
Jeremy
I have a Charlie Daddy pick.
Dang, dude. At Dynasty Daddy. FF on the clock.
I'm holding everyone
OTC.
up.
After this one, we'll hit some of your drafts, and then we'll do some more mocks. I really hope that snipes some of y'all in the Max Claire. Oh, we'll take a look. I do
like Claire. None have fallen to me.
Yeah, and in that league too, that's a best ball start 2 tight end. So him playing snaps at all for the Rams is very meaningful in that league. And then another Jolie call out. Stribling could go as high as a 201 and as low as a 210. I've seen him at the 112 too. I mean, I think that might be
I've
a little
not
bit.
seen the 112. That's crazy.
It's crazy, but it also is. I mean, if you're a filter by draft capital home league bro, that's probably where he lines up, right? Because that's
fair. That is fair.
that's the start of the second round receiver. But yeah, I probably am more like I like the Jonah Coleman bet, Antonio Williams, and he would be like right behind some of these other receivers who I just like more. But I'm done with the Stribling hate and putting him down to the late third. I think
Yeah,
that's kind of
if this
ridiculous
was a good class.
Yeah,
I was about to say in this class, I'm like he's got more meaningful draft capital than pretty much every other guy in the second round. So I can't blame you for being like, he has better draft capital than Dill Boston, who we thought would get the first round draft capital in some examples. So I don't hate it over any of these guys. I just tend to lean tight end. I just think that's the only position that you could just stumble into a Fannin type or Gadsden or something like that, where you're like, oh my gosh, like the way they're utilizing this guy that we didn't know about is interesting. Whereas a lot of these guys, you kind of like, okay, like what is the happy case for Stribling or Brazel or Hurst or Fields? Like, it's hard. It's like, is this just going to be a Savion Williams on my taxi squad that I look at and I'm like, well, he had a cool name, but just never really did anything.
We've almost got the full NFC North. I was going to call it a triangle square here. With this is a Skull Baby, LOL. So this is a Vikings fan looking to acquire Josh Jacobs, a Packer, and seeking advice from a Lions fan. So we just need somebody give me a Bears fan in the chat who wants to offer some opinion, and we'll hit the full NFC North holy quadrinity.
Maybe does he have any Bears players that could just tack into the deal?
Sam Roosh. Okay. 7th overall for Jacobs, that's probably the price. Like, I feel like 108 and beyond, people are excited to get out of those picks, depending on the format. People are excited to take Sadiq, tight end heavy. But I really like KC, but I think I'm a contender. I think that's totally fine to move off of, KC or whatever the 107 would be for a running back you expect to produce for the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only hope would be like maybe if like Jadarian Price fell to 107, because I've seen it happen in drafts, but I don't know if you want to bet on that versus just give me the sure thing. And even then, it's like Josh Jacobs will probably score more than Jadarian Price.
I'm probably doing the tight end thing. I've got Jack Andrews queued. I think some of these running back bets are interesting enough. Whatever, I'll take Seth McGowan. I think like the running backs that potentially could be the one injury away guys, that and the random tight end bets are going to matter more for my roster. We see this whole 4th round is just, I mean, you got the quarterbacks dipped in here, but these are just all running backs. All right, am I crazy for thinking that Lemon on the Eagles is the best landing spot, assuming AJ leaves? Established QB with good offense. Yeah, it's not too pass heavy, but that's better than an Unkoff. The landing spot stuff. I'm okay. So what's the Unkoff?
The Unkoff got me. That was.
Well, what is the Unkoff comparatively though? Because I mean, not versus the Tyson and Tate. I mean, that's the. I mean, I guess you might refer to Tyler Shuck as an Unk second year, 35-year-old or something. But
he is an old quarterback.
I think landing spot wise, I don't think the Lemon spot is terrible. I think people are a little bit too hyper focused on like the Jalen Hurts over the middle stuff, but that's not all. Like, yes, Lemon, a lot of slot usage, but he's also great on outbreaking routes. Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is an underrated passer. I said it. I'm gonna be brave.
That's big. That's big.
All right, Malik Willis or the 112. I'm happily taking Malik Willis. I might trade my 109 for Malik Willis and sleep like a baby.
I probably would. if I need production now, give me the guy that they need some. Like he's actually going to play.
Mm-hmm. All right, unknown offense. Okay, so is that the Titans for you? I'm kind of excited about. I don't know. I was rooting for Ward last season, so I might be a little biased. I think he's a lot better than he got credit for. A lot of drops on that Titans team. Head coach gets fired midway through the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good spot. Tate is probably the best bet from a wide receiver standpoint. So I don't feel bad about Cam Ward. I'm excited about that situation. Better coaching staff, more stability there. Are you wincing at the Detroit had a worse record?
We can move on.
Then
That's
Max
you could have put me at quarterback.
Kyle, could you look up how many teams in the NBA come back from a 3-1 deficit?
This one, baby. You think Detroit's losing 2 times in a row at home, down 3-1? Ain't no way.
I saw this guy on Twitter that was like, if the Pistons lose game 4, I'm gonna waterboard myself, and then
he did.
videoed himself waterboarding himself.
All right, I've got the Alpha Daddy pulled up right here. Okay, if you're ready.
Okay, Alpha Daddy.
So right now, Jeremy's on the clock.
Okay, chat. Let's make this pick.
Staring down Sadiq, Cooper, Ty Simpson. I assume are your thoughts, and I have the league pulled up on Dynasty Daddy. If you want us to fully analyze.
Yeah, it is 0.75 tight end premium.
0.75
kind of the Sadiq.
Start 10.
PPR 12 teams. Start 10.
Drake May, Jaden Daniels. What's going on in the running back room? Devonta Smith. But I mean, you had the 103, 105, 108. Wait.
In a loaded class, it's worked out.
Yeah, you go Tyson. Mendoza at the 105. I know you talked about like you're like, man, this team could really, if there was a team that could use Jadarian Price, but I wouldn't pass on Mendoza either.
It gives me the flexibility to maybe move off of the Daniels or May and like cash in on that elite value.
You got Kirko Chains too. You're good.
And I think too, like, let me double check.
All right, what do we think, guys? What's the pick here? If you're staring down this team,
you have 2 flexes as well.
Mark Andrews.
So my gut is telling me I should lean more towards just the Kenyon Sadiq, because if he works out, the bar is lower with the tight end premium. It matters enough, and if he's decent enough, cool. Like, I have a decent tight end that has some level of investment. There's no way in hell I can take the Ty Simpson this high when I already have Mendoza who might sit for a whole year.
Yeah,
and I already have plenty of QBs.
Yeah, what's available?
Like, do I believe in the Omar Cooper, Denzel Boston?
Yeah,
conversation. I don't really think so.
It's really.
So I think Sadiq's kind of the only pick here.
It's Sadiq, Cooper, or Simpson, and I agree. I think and it's. I'm not just saying this as the next person on the clock whose tight end room is Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. Hey, you guys want to help me make my pick? Actually, I need some help. I've got an interesting.
It's gonna be the Antonio.
You tried to sell the pick, brother. We are all trying to sell the picks.
Second.
Let me tell you. Anyone interested in this pick? The answer is no. All right, there it is, Sadiq. All right, real quick, Ty Simpson's the next available. That's where I was leaning to. Let me know, guys. Contending team, and not just a contending team, but last year's champion, and having the 109. Now, I wish it was a different.
This is lights are bright. True. Conviction pick.
All right, you know what's actually I am on. Wait, I have both Alpha Daddies pulled up. Real quick, this is bad podcasting, but this is important. Nobody tell Wayne Buckler.
He's pulling up the DMs. He's going to try to trade back.
But I am on Antonio Williams at the 204 watch. Okay, just 4 hours and 38 minutes between me and Antonio Williams. All right.
I know you already have good tight ends. Do you think about just loading up on like Stowers in case Stowers is like a breakout versus a guy that might sit for 2 years and might not even have coach buy-in?
Yeah. The one, so it is a 0.75, which is, it starts to kind of tickle my fancy of like making the
2 flex.
2 flex. The Diaz has the shout that I want to do is like a trade for a vet. I did leading up to this draft try to see if I could move the first plus one of these. Like I actually kind of like my starting lineup overall. Kenneth Walker, Kyron, ETN, and actually this is updated. I made a trade that I don't think Chad would like. Actually, no, it was in the other league I made the trade. I've got a lot of David Montgomery, I guess. I have him in both Alpha and Bravo, but not anymore.
You got to get off of them now.
So I like my running back room. Pickens, Nico, Waymo, Mike Evans. Like I was trying to tier up at wide receiver with the 109 plus one of these guys, but that went about as well as you can all imagine. So I don't know, guys. If you're on the clock here with that contending team, are you just eating the Ty Simpson?
I think personally, I would just go Stowers.
You like the bully tight end?
Well, it also just gives me the flexibility of going, selling a tight end if I need to. If Stowers hits and is like this year's Loveland or something, then you're like, oh my gosh, I have so much value. But then with the tight end premium, you're totally a flexible, something that you could put into a flex spot.
Definitely considering. There is one part of me though that is trying to figure out the Ty Simpson equation of what is the Ty Simpson narrative. Like, am I trading my 109 for a 2028 late first value-wise by drafting Ty Simpson? Did you get what I'm saying? In terms of like the way that a rebuilding team would perceive Ty Simpson. Are you kind of following what I'm putting down?
Like, is it kind of just a future first?
It is. In terms of like the value it holds, it is kind of just a future first. Where Stowers is like, could be smash. Most likely, I mean, my thing with the Stowers, especially with Goddard there for another year, I think best case scenario is he totally eats Grant Caltera's lunch and plays those snaps and is not the inline guy, but is like out there enough and makes some plays. I'm not starting him at all in fantasy this year, but people are interested in him like post Goddard. 2028 Simpson may be starting and relevant. That's kind of the bet, and not necessarily that like I'm locking in the exact year he will be starting, but a rebuilding team perceives Ty Simpson as
something that you can say, hey, can I
give me, whoever the Devontae Adams is in
Josh
3 years.
Jacobs or Devontae Adams.
Not starting Simpson.
I do think you have some insulation, but I also think it's a little bit grosser.
Right. What about Stafford?
Off of all of the
McVay stuff.
McVay vibes. Like McVay,
my 50% copium,
but he cannot act. He's not getting an Oscar for his job.
Here's my read. Here's my I'm drafting Ty Simpson read. So all the Ty Simpson drafters, this is your read now in the situation. Okay, you've already made the bet. This is your read. We were told that earlier
Take a
that
shot
day,
every time he says read,
that they told Stafford that they were going to take Simpson, and that really was weighing heavy on his heart and his soul. Stafford's his buddy. They vacation together. They're close. And then this far too, I think this is an interesting pick. I've got Stafford. Now I've got Herbert and Cam Ward too, so it's not necessarily like I need the like handcuff quarterback or anything. But in terms of like locking in Rams quarterback,
you want Mendoza?
What I want is somebody to give me a tier up for this 109 is what I want. By the way, you'll have 31 viewers watching me make a 110 pick. Oh, I better hurry or everyone's going to leave. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys hanging out.
Just wait till all the Charlie Daddy members make me take a late 3rd round pick on stream.
Yeah, true. Right. That is actually going to be, or is it Jonah Coleman? No. And actually, this is my only pick until late. I like my team. I think I might just do the I'm holding value.
I don't blame you.
Stowers McBride, the pump and dump. Yeah. See, Diaz gets it. Or maybe that's anti my pick. I actually don't think Cooper's a terrible pick either. Like this team could use a wide receiver 4 bet. You know, Mike Evans, Jamison Williams, Nico Pickens. I do have Cam Ward and Herbert. I don't have my 27 first. That changes the equation. All right, I'm going to make the pick.
There we go, the suspense.
It's going to be
Antonio Williams.
Ty Simpson.
That would be good content right there. But yeah, talk about Ty Simpson, hype him up for
that would be
5 minutes to Antonio Williams.
Hey guys,
give me Iguodala.
I am not a victory lapper at all. And the victory lap can't even happen. This is like a pre-victory lap. You guys have seen a lot of Antonio Williams on the timeline, huh? A lot of really like Antonio Williams as a prospect now that he gets that 3rd round draft capital. It was always Ty. This morning I wrote it down on my sticky note. All right, real quick, you making the Charlie Daddy pick, and then we'll get another mock going.
Yeah, I can make that real quick. I mean, I can be the boring one. This is a 2 tight end. Start 2 tight end premium league. So there's
I'll get another mock
going.
Wait, where are we?
Yeah, we should set one of them. So I've just kind of load up. It's best ball as well. So I just kind of load up tight ends. We got Stowers, Jolie. Jolie was a little bit of a reach, but I was looking at who else is available.
Yeah, in the format.
Nothing was super interesting to me. So in this range, it's like, do I take, I don't know, like,
you got some fab offers.
Maybe. I know. Oh, that's enticing. I do kind of like Emmett Johnson, to be honest. I feel like Emmett Johnson isn't the worst pick here. But I don't want a ton of running backs that are scoring me 0.
That is the interessante part. And that's why me as a genius best ball player, it's my 2nd year playing best ball. This is why I only have 2 picks. So I'm not taking any zeros. I've got the 312 and the 410. No zeros for me. I'm dropping those players. Yeah, Emmett Johnson, tight end wise.
I'm trying to see if there's any other deep tight ends.
Any of these, like, I mean, like, the upside of, like, obviously Chicago.
Yeah, I was thinking, like,
where it's like Komet has another year, but, like, I mean, these still feel like zeros.
I think it's like Rouge or Klein. Like,
but you're at the 309.
Going between. Yeah,
Klein is interesting. That's another. Schultz is on his last year, right?
He is coming back from injury. I think that's where I'm going to lean.
Okay. This guy's
now we'll force Kyle to make his pick on stream.
There we go. If I get sniped, I'm a riot. All right. Did you get sniped?
I did it because Kai. Shouts to Kai.
Wait, where are you?
Where am I?
Ooh, this is an interesting draft. Back handler. Triple tight end. All right, let's see if you pick us in.
I'll see if I get 4.
Ooh, black. I like it. I kind of like you know, you get a good feel. Like, is black active on game day pretty early on? That's a pretty good feel for meaningful enough running back to hold. Well, that's another tight end. This format is for everybody that's like, this guy's just filtering by orange. This is a start 2 tight end plus 0.75 tight end premium.
It's start 2. So tight end premium, and you have to start 2, and it's best ball.
And yeah. So tight ends
can hit flex spots.
Tight ends that run routes. Good.
Yeah. My team is ass, and I was number 1 in the league for like 80% of the regular season just because I had tight ends just firing off on different weekends.
I love my team in that league. I don't love that I don't have any firsts for the next few years, but it's a good team.
My Jordan James bags are a little bit excited. Gained some value on my Jordan James waiver wire pickups.
Let's go. All right, I just sent.
I'm in the same book, Kyle.
You mock draft.
Part of me does think
number 2.
Part of me does think everyone's been down on again, the 49ers taking another reach at running back, part of me just thinks Black is going to hit. Yeah, like I'm like eventually one of these guys is just going to actually hit and work in that offense, and everyone's going to be like, see, told you, they're genius.
Yeah. I think the one tough thing is it 100% feels like the Jordan Mason is the upside for the whatever the Niners RB2 is, like a couple Garendo weeks, just because of the CMC workload. I like every time I point to like there's no running backs that get used 90%. Okay, Christian McCaffrey, and then there's no running backs that get used 90% of the time and have 80% of the goal line workload and are always in on third downs. That's just Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Minus the 7.
I was surprised Brian Robinson did not have more of a role last year.
Yeah, he had a couple.
We've seen him be solid, and yeah, he didn't really exist.
JT too, yeah. JT for sure. But JT, like, I think that depth chart, I think if there was a decent RB2, like we've seen JT forfeit some of the third down stuff when there's been. And I thought, man, I really thought Giddens was going to be that guy.
I know. I was hoping. I thought he would be nice.
True. All right, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. We've got the mock link in the chat.
Yeah, should be. I can.
If you guys want to join that.
There's still time.
That's true.
DJ Giddens. And there's still time to join the mock draft. We just booted up another one.
All right, I'm going to go back through. I know we missed some of these earlier. Oh, what's up, Troitica? I'm a big Jalen Coker fan, aren't we all? Dance on the Panthers, Brazzle Dazzle pick. You see more of an XL replacement than affecting Coker. Yeah, I mean, are you like if you have to make your bets week 7? Do you think it's more likely that Leggett is losing 3 wide receiver set stuff than Coker?
Yeah, no, I think JP is right on the mark here with this analysis, because I mean Coker was so good. I mean Coker was probably the best player in the playoff game that we had. So there's no way that he's being phased out of the offense. What Brazzle did very well at Tennessee. Now Tennessee has a weird me running 4 verticals every play in Madden type offense, but that's kind of what we need, right? Leggett is supposed to be the guy that go to downfield, catch key plays. I mean, I remember the crucial drop against the eventual Super Bowl champions 2 years ago, Eagles, where the ball in Leggett's hands in the end zone, and he just drops it. And it was a beautiful ball by Bryce, and I don't say that often, but it was just like the perfect play. I was like, Bryce played an amazing second half to bring us back against a really tough team. And Leggett has had a few of those where it's just poorly timed drops. And I think this is kind of what it is. It's like, hey, let's bring in some competition. Either Leggett figures out what's going on with his hands, because it's always the ankle, the hands. Okay, eventually we just need a guy that's reliable. And if he can't be reliable and healthy or whatever's going on, you got to figure that out. And I think Brazzle is that's the answer. The answer is bring in another guy, compete. And Brazzle's an interesting player. I mean, he got some first round buzz early in the draft process. Obviously he fell, but I think he's one of the more interesting prospects out of that range of guys, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting flashbacks to I know the pre-draft comp stuff we were doing, like talking about, and obviously it's easy to make these comparisons when they were both Tennessee guys, but Thornton last year, where like the buzz preseason about like running with the ones and, with Geno Smith, and you're like, wait, this guy's really tall and fast. Like this could work. And, you're able to move him for, 3rd-second swaps off of preseason buzz. I don't think people are falling for that as much, but it happened. So,
I hope not. Well, I hope in my league, I hope I'm able to be like, I just need like, maybe that's what we need. We need, some fantasy writers, some people that can just start putting out some blurbs. Like, he's big and fast. You should sell him for a first.
We're going to have fake AI reporters that are going to be mudding some waters, and Sleeper's going to be posting notifications.
We're going to have so much slop. Yeah.
Fake slop.
We're gonna have like 2 more years. It's just gonna be like slop fantasy accounts and writers, and people are just gonna plug their rosters into AI and be like, you're like, what are you doing?
All right, if you want to get in the mock, you got to make it happen soon, or we're going to do a pivot and a transition.
Or it becomes auction.
If you want, oh God, if you want to see a rookie mock happen, get in here. And if you don't want to see it happen, show us with your actions and don't get in here, and we'll pivot to some of the live stream asks. I know we've got a couple in there.
Yeah, I think we got 2.
I want to talk about this real quick. Kadrano's here. Never in my life have I wanted to get rid of seconds as much as I do now. I do think that's an interesting point in a lot of formats where I know Khalil Shakir specifically in Bravo Daddy. I know the Rebuilder is trying to, shout out to Wayne Buckler. I think he's been trying to move J.K. Dobbins, Khalil Shakir for some early seconds during the rookie draft. And on just their surface level, especially with how much people hate this class, totally fair offer. You know, Khalil Shakir, early second, J.K. Dobbins, early second, totally fair. But I think in like Khalil Shakir specifically, in the grand scheme of how much that impacts your roster and the realistic upside of a Khalil Shakir versus the mystery box of probably never going to produce as much as Khalil Shakir, but who knows? Antonio Williams type beat. And like just the rookie hype excitement. So what's the line for you? Like, would you trade your 204 for Khalil Shakir?
Probably.
I think it's fair. Like, I don't think
this class, if I need any sort of production, and Khalil Shakir is a pretty safe bet to have some sort of role. Like DJ Moore's there, but Shakir's still going to be very important in what Buffalo does. It's going to be an offense that is playing in meaningful games and should have a pretty efficient offense, all things considered. Kind of around the Josh Allen. So I feel pretty confident that especially if I'm like a contender, I need points at 204. Like, what am I going to get? Like, I don't want to draft a Jalen Polk and just have him like on my roster, even though people like him. Someone saw a Twitter thread about him and thought he was good. Like, give me a guy that has done it. And now he hasn't done it at an elite level, but I don't need an elite level with the 204.
Yeah.
If I have to take it and then hope my guy scores, there's no guarantee. Now, if you're a rebuilder, it's like, what's a Khalil Shakir do on my team for 2-3 years and then expire and evaporate into nothing? I'd rather just take the upside that like you in your secret rankings have Antonio Williams. His most common comp is Jamar Chase. If that outcome hits, then then you'll be pretty happy about that.
Heck yeah. Unfortunately, it's Josh Downs, but what if
that's working out great?
What if he plays a little bit on the outside? That's what I'm doing with Josh Downs this year too. Shout out to Tricky Trev, join in the mock. If you want to get in there, if you want to see more rookie mocks happen, hit this one. If not, we can pivot, and Tricky Trev and KeepTradeCut can go watch the last stream. Hey, Kyle in here, let's go. I love cokeheads. Let's go.
We almost got 6 people for auction draft.
I like that this insinuates that Phil is not saying I love Jalen Coker. Like, it is the fandom, like, cokeheads I love. Let's go. JD5. Loverboy.
I like the memes.
I love the memes. This is my favorite part about, I was just going back through the chat messages, and at the 109 that I was just picking on the Alpha Daddy League, seeing 4 different names brought up in terms of like who the pick should be. It's just like, describes this class perfectly in terms of.
I know, it makes you miss
mid to late
picking
first.
Between Tyler Warren and Colton Loveland.
There was one a very, very explosive mine, but in Caleb Johnson. But this class feels like there's potentially 6 mines.
I think there might be another one that you're forgetting about.
Well, I mean, so are you talking about Matthew Golden?
No, I was talking about Travis Hunter.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, he was going closer to the early first. We'll see. We'll see.
I guess
Yes. We're
Matthew
gonna hit the
Goldline
live
was
stream
more
ask
of a,
right after
like,
this.
an early second.
Who should I draft in Dynasty? Dynasty is one of the leagues I'm in with Tricky Trev here, and
Yeah.
I actually have 0 picks. Like, it's not like, oh, I traded away my first. No, I have no picks at all. Not even a 4-12, and I got third last year, unfortunately. Shout out to JD5. I still believe in you, even though you hurt me last year. I had 14 Penix after
I
rookie
have a lot
drafts.
of JD5.
This is the year. I had 14 Penixes after rookie drafts by the end of this year. 90% for future firsts. Dang. Am I reading that right? Or is this word tripping me out?
I think I don't yeah, that word is tricking me out a little bit, but I think it is flip 90% of them for future first, which is pretty incredible. But
I think that's a nod to the
much
Simpson
more
pick
hype, I think.
that I was talking about making that one.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's a starting quarterback in the league. All right, 14 teams, start 10 Superflex. London or the 105 and T. Higgins. Ooh. 14 by 10, I think I'm taking the package.
Yeah, you got to take the package here because you need a lot of starters.
If it's 107, are you taking London side?
I think so. Like, I like starters, but
I think 105 is starters you can count on.
Yeah. I mean, 105, you're looking at Mendoza, you're looking at maybe a Lemon or someone like that falls. I'd rather just lock that up than, be stuck with like a 107, 108 range guy.
Hey, busy day following the NFL draft. Concert tomorrow at the stadium. Let's go. Dynasty Jake working hard for Jeremy's Carolina Panthers.
What's the concert at the stadium, Dynasty Jake?
Ooh, let's go. I interviewed. Oh man, I'm trying to forget. When I interviewed with the Lions, I should tell that story one day. Me interviewing with the Lions. Man, who was it? It was like Darius Rucker or somebody was like warming up in the middle of Ford Field. Wish I could hop in a mock with y'all.
That's
man,
a cool moment.
Be Dynasty Jake. Let Dynasty Jake live vicariously through you hopping into a mock draft with us right now, guys. Come on. Please.
Don't worry. We'll be mocking.
What's the time?
So much.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I'll give it 3 more minutes. We'll answer questions. If by 10:10,
we're 5 away. I can Discord it.
All right. You can see me getting kind of desperate, getting a little emotional.
I know. I see you starting to get antsy.
A little bit. I just want to put on a good show for the people. They come here for the.
You do. I mean, you do a great job hosting.
Oh, thanks, Jeremy.
Oh my gosh! Don't cry on stream.
Shout out to Kyle's Whatnot show Thursday night. Believe this is is it only sports cards? Kyle, do you dip your toes into some Pokemon every now and then? What are the kids playing now? One Piece, TCG, Riftbound.
I don't know if you can see, but I have a new addition to the.
I can't full screen you. Let's see. What are we working with?
Because the Harris Teeter across the street.
What is that?
Got it like the Harris Teeter I go to got a Pokemon vending machine.
And are those just unopened ETBs?
I got my first ETB, and then the next day it spit me out another one. And my heart dropped a little. I'm like carrying a bunch of groceries, and I'm like, I feel like I'm like robbing the bank or something.
You know what you should do? You
I
should
didn't
come
realize
on.
it spit out anything.
Whenever we do the next Thursday night Will Best Ball stream, or the first, I guess, the inaugural for the next season, we should get you on and open. You should open up your. I'll get you in the other cam, just opening up Pokemon cards while I'm wasting $25.
That would be the Subway Surfers in the bottom.
Yeah. We'll get we'll get Kyle on one of the things doing sports cards. Anyone sing? We could get some karaoke in the other corner.
Try to make the most overstimulating stream possible.
Multitask doing homework.
Everyone's interests are covered.
No worries. I appreciate the apology. It's not necessary at all. You do not need to apologize for my begging, but thank you. Is Jalen Naylor?
I will say Jalen Naylor.
I mean, Jalen Naylor, as far as like,
wasn't terrible.
And as far as how the draft played out too, I mean, they didn't take a receiver until. Ooh, shout out to the Discord. Look at the
Discord's
the
filled
Nody
up,
gang in the Discord. Come on, thank you guys, appreciate it. Let's go. I think Jalen Naylor. I mean, Jalen Naylor getting a contract. Like, I could see myself. I couldn't, but in this class, I could see myself sending, late second, third round pick for Jalen Naylor. Like, I think it's a similar type of, with even a better bet for production for this year.
Yeah, no, I feel completely fine being like, do I want to take one of these random running backs or something in the third, or can I send for Jalen Naylor? I think that's completely reasonable. And who knows? New landing spot, new offense. That offensive minded coach, new situation. He could be someone that we do see kind of a Parker Washington revival, not Parker Washington, but like kind of like a breakout in terms of different usage than he had previously.
Do we think JD5 has price valued at the 104, or do we think this is some FUD for JD5's league mates that watches the Dynasty Daddy show for their upcoming rookie draft to try to make their 105 pick better? What do you think? I just want to call it out just in case this was insider trading, because I just don't believe price of the 104.
Cardinal tape fell. Yeah. Dude, people like Price. I'm
tripping. People like running backs, man. We talked about it, man. I get it, but I don't get it. 104 3 times. Dang. Was any kind of PPC or anything in that's kind of like boost up running back scoring? I don't hate Price.
Yeah,
I just hate Price over a top 10 receiver and I like Tate. I mean, there's some warts with all these.
I get Tyson. Yeah, like I could see Tyson falling because of the injury concerns. Tate is one of the most sure bets in this class, right? Great spot.
Dang.
Yeah, like to me, I don't see why you would dock a Tate who had top 5 draft capital, amazing spot.
You just got to trade back though. If you're taking Price at the 103, and I think you can move around the top 5 picks easily. Like, you can't move around like 108 and on if you're like, oh, anybody want to trade back and maybe give me a future? No, shut up. That's not happening. But top 5 picks, if you're at the 102, you can move back to the 103, 104 pretty easily. Like, people want to take their bets, I think, in that 102 through even 106 range. Tate and Price. Okay. All right. I like Tyson. I wasn't like super high. Like, I had Tate, Lemon, and then right behind them had Tyson heading into the draft. But situation plus draft capital, I can't knock Tyson that much. Jeremy, what's your favorite Pokemon? Wait, let me guess. And then I want you to guess mine.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go kind of classic. I don't know how boring you would be though with your favorite Pokemon. Oh, I did. Oh, okay, pause. Choked. W. Jonah Coleman pick. But it just looks so disgusting when it's not linear. I'm sorry, Riley. I just don't want to look like that, like a couple of idiots doing a rookie mock, All right, Gengar.
That's a good one. I think I'm a Gen 3 sucker.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if I can pick my favorite, but like there would just be like random Gen 3 Pokemon that just I'm like, I'm always like a sucker for like Rayquaza and like the Groudon, Kyogre. Yeah. I like all the 3 Trico. Like Reggies, but the ice. I've always been a sucker for like Whale Lord.
Okay.
All the Whalmers and Whale Lord. I remember hunting Whale Lord back in the day.
Pipple up. I like all right. It was the first Pokemon. I mean, it's the starter. So like my favorite is not the final evolution. Shout out to Swampert though. First Pokemon I ever got to 100. Mudkip, definitely my favorite.
Mudkip is good.
By a landslide. By a mudslide.
Oh, nice. I see what you did there.
Thanks. Puff. Shout out to Super Smash Brothers Melee, greatest game of all time.
No.
I actually played Jigglypuff initially because I didn't think my hands could be fast enough to do the cool Fox Falco stuff. And luckily I grew out of that.
Yeah, I was about to say. We're never playing if you play Puff. That's
I haven't touched Puff in a minute.
Puff is such a mental. I feel like Puff is like playing tennis or something. Like I feel like you have to do
It is
20 things
game.
right, and then you might just get hit with a rest, and you're like, well, like there goes 2 minutes of good gameplay.
It's like playing. I don't want to give Puff this much credit. It's like, hey man, you want to play? I'm gonna say checkers instead of chess. You want to play checkers, or do you want to box in my backyard? Like, which of those things sounds cooler? You know?
Yeah.
I love playing Jigglypuff, and mainly because Jeremy hates it. Puff's not like a fun. I don't know if we should talk about the weight classes in Smash Bros. Right now, but like for like combo purposes, you know, that's not even a fun character to play against or combo. Smashing Antonio, this is really what it is. Kai's just picking the 104 just to try to be the Antonio Williams guy when we all know the Antonio Williams guy is me. So when he has 2 for 30 in the preseason,
all the time.
When he has one cool catch and goes 2 for 30 in a preseason game, that was me who was the Antonio Williams guy. Okay.
You're gonna open up your Discord app. It's gonna be 30 at everyone's in the Dynasty Daddy channel. It's just every single like.
It's like a
did
screen.
You see this route? Yeah, he totally won this route. He was open. He just didn't get the ball.
Yeah. I got the all 22 for the Commanders preseason game up. Look at this.
You cut up a highlight reel. It's just him running empty routes.
All right, let me pull up. All right, so we got Chris Bell, Branch, and Williams off the board. Those are my next 3 receivers. Dang, am I gonna have to dip into tight end? All right, so like at this range, Singleton goes off the board. I actually like don't hate. Like Katron Allen is 100% the like swing for a home run that might strike you out and is not on the roster. But as far as like what Katron does, no Chris Rodriguez there. I can't do it. I'm coming around on Jeremy Bernard. A lot of people whose opinions I trust like Bernard. And I think in a class of wide receivers that we do not expect to produce year 1 or even year 2, I will take the bad situation receiver, you know, heading into his rookie year, who I think is a pretty good prospect.
Yeah, and like too, I don't necessarily feel like the bad situation is that terrible.
Yeah,
right, all things considered. Or DK Metcalf and Bernard. He kind of goes in right as wide receiver too in that offense. And new
Pittman
situation.
There? No Gainwell.
I guess Pittman, yeah.
But yeah, I mean those guys both on the older end, and you know this could be a totally new team. All right, you got 18 seconds. My bad. I'm stalling. Big Carson Beck guy, huh? I'm the Antonio Williams guy. You're the Carson Beck guy.
Unfortunately, this is a reluctant like, hey guys, he might be the quarterback that starts first out of all of them.
In your, let's say like you are not trying to make the Carson Beck bet, and you very much are like value purposes. What is your cash out price for Beck? Like the minute there is like a start and he's worth a 27 third and a backup running back, are you doing that? Or are you holding out hope? Okay.
I mean, I think if I get any second from any year.
Yeah. I didn't even want to do the second because I think that's just locked.
Yeah, like back in a third for a second. Yeah, that's probably the angle I would be shooting for. But if it's just back in a third, I'm like, hey, it's a third in a class. It then becomes a flexible asset I can use in the future. And guess what's not flexible? The 209 on the clock.
Yeah.
No one's like, oh my God, I need to do something with that.
Yeah. Bernard should be off the board before Branch. John P., I'm curious, what do you think about Stribling? I don't have a follow-up to that. Got a guy in the league that really loves Bernard. I mean, like...
This is the perfect class for like I have one of these like mid-round wide receivers that I just love. You know, like Antonio Williams, Bernard,
yeah.
Everyone's gonna be like, this is my guy. I'm just gonna keep hammering him.
I think these obviously the second round guys, like I'll loop Boston in there, but I think Boston, Bell, Branch, Williams, Bernard. I'm gonna give it to Stribling. I think those are the receivers that I'm not going to say I'm targeting, But I think like I am not going out of my way to take a tight end or a running back versus those guys. I will in some cases, depending on the format, but I'm not going out of my way. Now, when we start getting into, I mean, Brazil's tough, but there's, and then you get down like these Baltimore guys. I'm so mad they took both. And Surratt second,
Jacoby Lane had some hype.
I know, but like
Some hype
I like
coming into it
Surratt
all.
too. And Surratt, I think, is kind of like the stuff that they've had the tight ends do, like red zone wise. Like I think it just might be annoying, and it's just like Surratt. Everyone's hoping for the big slot stuff, but he's just kind of like a 30% red zone beast. Zay Flowers never scores 5+ touchdowns in a season.
Yeah,
I take Bernard over Stribling. I think Stribling at the start of the third is kind of crazy in this class. Dude, this class is crazy. How is Fields still there? There's just like, there is no, bro, my guy Darnell Mooney's on the Giants. What you on about? Come on. Stud. Oh, the auto pick, nice. After the Price and Tony Williams. Wait, can I do this for you? Wait, does that pause it? I'm trying to do a favor for my lover boy. There we go. Get your Skylar Bell. Bell too. There's none of these picks
Buffalo?
are bad picks. None of these picks are terrible picks. They're all just bad picks. Is that where we're at with like all these wide receivers? That you're taking
yeah.
in, like,
I mean,
the
it
mid?
feels like I keep using like Jalen Polk just because like I remember the vibes. Like people are like, oh, it was somewhat exciting. People had, were like, this is my guy. I think he's pretty good. That's kind of pretty much everyone outside the top 4 wide receivers is kind of that. Where it's like, oh, I liked him in college from the whatever I watched, and I'm just going to go with it. But no one really there's no sign from the NFL that they think any of these guys are super significant.
Yeah.
And the reason is like, if we did, we wouldn't see teams trading back a million times. We'd see teams trading up to go get these guys. And that's why I'm like, yeah, they're probably return specialists or, random gadget guys or, I hope, and I will say probably 1 or 2 of them will become viable flex players, if not better. But it's just like, there's so many of them. I have no idea which one it is.
Yeah. All right. Would you trade Justin Herbert away if your quarterbacks were Kyler Murray and Jackson Dart and you needed a wide receiver 1? 10 team PPR Superflex. Willie, let me know how many starters and give me feel free to list your roster if you want to write it out. Because I think that really would influence how I'd answer this question. Because I want to say no, but I don't. I want to know how bad we're talking. Because I'm thinking shallow, and I'm thinking, can I turn one of those other quarterbacks into a lower tier wide receiver I feel fine about? Because I don't know if Herbert's really getting you up. I think you have to add on to Herbert to get up into like the elite guys.
Yeah,
in a 10 team especially.
In a weird way, Herbert doesn't have that super elite value.
And what QBs are on waivers, if any? Like, is Geno on waivers in a 10 team?
Is what's his name?
Deshaun Watson.
Malik Willis.
Oh, yeah.
We've done multiple of those where it's like, what should I do at quarterback? I'm like, Malik Willis is free.
I do think some of those, maybe half, because some of them that are really shallow, that's just how the cookie crumbles. But
yeah,
I do think half of them,
waivers yet.
Yeah, half of them the waivers locked when that end of the season happened.
I'm like, drop all your fab on quarterback right out of the gate.
Price and Williams will always be the 4th pick turn for me. JD5, if you're sitting at the 104, what would you need to move back? I'm going to say 2 spots to the 106. Because if I was a guy who had Price neck and neck with the top 5, I'd be comfortable moving back to the 106. What would you need on top of the 106 to move back from the 104? Shout outs. Love wave dashing with that goofy boy, Luigi. You know what I haven't done in a minute that I'm going to do tonight for no reason? I'm gonna try to super wave dash with Samus. It's been like a year and a half since I last did that. That's a fun one.
That is a good one. The super whip dash and like the tether.
Oh yeah. Who do you are you were I was about to say Spaceys. I'm gonna get like the extra nerdy side of the melee scene there. Would you play Fox and Falco?
Yeah, I mean, I was a Falco solo main,
Okay.
and then I started dabbling a little bit with Marth just because I felt like I hit like a plateau with Falco, and I was just like I wish I branched out earlier when I was trying harder because I'm like, there's so many frustrating times where I'm like, if I just switched, maybe I could have like looked at this matchup a different way.
Yeah. Yeah, my Falco is Falco who's I played the most. Like if I went to a tournament tomorrow, I would play only Falco and then maybe like Fox for the Puff matchup. But no, I hate playing against Falco, which is funny as a Falco person. Like I'm so bad at dealing with lasers, but I also just spam lasers in every time I play somebody.
Yeah, that was I think that's like the thing with Falco is like there's so many level Falcos, and this is definitely what everyone's tuning in for.
Yeah.
But the lasers
Smash Tournament
cover up the need for actual neutral game a lot of times. So then like instead of like being like trying to space out attacks, you just shoot a laser, and most bad players just get hit by it, and then okay, cool, I won. But then when you play a good player that knows how to deal with lasers, you're like, what the hell am I doing? Like there's like 5 levels between that.
Hey, Cooper, what kind of nerd stream is this? Hey, I did the good.
This is a fantasy football stream in April.
Yeah, that's true. I did the good Cooper. Wait, do you have a follow-up from Coop? Coop asked me a question in a Discord DM, and I sent a follow-up because I was intrigued. I don't always ask the follow-up questions, like when people ask me stuff through like DM messages.
Yeah.
But if it interests me enough, I'll ask a follow-up question, get a little extra insight, extra context. All right. Ooh, okay. Price probably won't be there at 6 in most leagues. Which honestly, I'm living and learning to accept that is the reality we live in. That Jadarian Price is a top 5 pick.
Part of me felt that way. I just feel like I still feel like the top 5 is too good. Like I have a hard time sitting there and like actually tapping Price when I'm on the clock. Like quarterback is 101. I'm like, I have to take that. Top 3 wide receivers with decent, all of them. 2 of them are top 10 draft capital. And then one of them is not a terrible spot. Like I know people are freaking out about the over the middle stuff, but still 20th overall pick. I mean, JSN was 22nd in the draft. So like it's not like this guy's destined to be a Keon Coleman.
As a prospect, now I don't know how much merit you guys want to put into like, the fantasy industry's like prospect profiles and everything. But like Lemon as a collegiate prospect, especially the last seasons, like if he had top 15 capital, like that is up there with where Tyson and Tate are being talked about right now.
Yeah.
I think the bet feels worse, falling down to the 20s and going to the Eagles, but I still like Lemon a lot. All right, I'm up. My boy.
You're really back to the wall here.
All right, auto picked on the Steelers. I got both Steelers future slot wide receivers.
I got the Derrick Henry clone.
That probably actually was the right pick. Or whichever tight end I did pick. I usually just fall back on injuries or the second Jags tight end that they drafted because I think he has a better receiving profile. Oh, classic. Yeah, there it is, right there. W pick. W pick.
Yeah, W pick.
That would have been my pick if I had 20 more seconds.
The second.
That's kind of the under thing. I don't want to get too. We talked about it a little bit. But the run of tight ends, especially the blocking types that went in that second round, I think might have pushed down some of those third round receivers potentially. But I mean, I don't know how apples to apples. That is, I think it's I think we're pushing it a little bit.
I mean, I kind of liked that it pushed it back because it makes the line even clearer for me. I don't have to sit there and be like, oh, well, he was picked 39 or 30. You know, like I'm like, no, it's you're day 3, you're day 4. I don't care, or not. You're round 3, round 4. I don't really care. Like I kind of know what type of bet I'm making. Whereas if you're like an early second, you can easily talk yourself into like, oh, Denzel Boston, that's basically a first round pick.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I really should have added on to that. I got stun locked by somebody talking about how they appreciate that we're talking about melee. In my prime, this is like, it sounds cool and is also sounds embarrassing to like know this and bring this up. 67th best melee player in Michigan at one point in my life. Now that you pause there and go, how many people play melee in Michigan? And is it more than 70? Yes, it is. The list went to 100 or something.
That's impressive because like that they had a list all the way to 100.
Shout out to Drake. Shout out to Drake. Legend in the Michigan melee scene. Keeping coin rank together. All right. Hempen Hillbilly. 0.7510 premium. Delp went 207. Raritan 209. The other leagues plus 210 premium. Both are late first in that one. So this is when we were talking, I think, a little bit about tight ends going. If anyone thinks they're going to steal either, they will probably be disappointed. Yeah. And a lot of these mocks, you'll see me clicking like 307 here. I think in most leagues where tight ends get juiced, I think a lot of these 3rd, 4th round receiver bets people will pass on for the tight ends, or at least the ones that, like Claire, Delp, Jolie, Raritan, Kozoil, Klein, probably. I mean, Trigg went here at the 401. That's kind of tough, undrafted, but I think college upside wise. Number 1 in Wilmington. Dang.
I did. I won like 4 tournaments or so. There's 1 or 2 summers, but
how big is Wilmington?
Were like 8 people.
Okay. I similar.
It's a big city. The scene was small though.
Did you guys have Arcadians? You know what an Arcadian is?
Yeah, those are sick.
So those are. For
I never
entered.
Don't know. I never entered.
I entered 1. So Arcadians, for people that don't know and also don't care, I will be telling you. There is like, if you were ever ranked in the top 10 in a region, you could not, or like in a state, you could not go to an Arcadian tournament. So it was like kind of cool for people that are like good, but never win anything because all the best players win all these big tournaments. I think you're about to, you probably think I'm about to tell you I won an Arcadian. I did not win an Arcadian, but I have won a tournament over somebody that won an Arcadian. The next year when they got a lot better, they grinded a lot harder.
That's how it happens sometimes.
Yeah, let's go. Just got back in melee last year. Had to rewatch the doc. It is so goated. Amazing.
The doc was good. I remember when I found that I was just binge watching it all night. I had 1 on record tournament win over a power ranked player in North Carolina.
I don't think I have that.
And I didn't even realize he was power ranked. And I turned around, everyone's like, oh my gosh, like, you just beat this guy. I'm like, I didn't know who this guy was. I was like, he's just like a campy sheep.
Dang.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
He's a nobody. He's a nobody to me. I'm number 1 in Wilmington. What are you on? What you on about?
Yeah, that was before I was 1 in Wilmington.
All right, next time.
Then I beat a guy that eventually became like top 5 in Wilmington or in North Carolina.
All right, I'm not gonna lie, guys.
That was right before he got ranked.
Jeremy and I have kind of joked around about like we got to have a night where we're randomly playing Smash.
It's got to happen
stream.
at this point.
It is for sure gonna happen, but now I feel like a little bit more nervous about it, and I definitely carry in the like 67th.
You're good.
All right, I don't know. I am equally rusty. That's what we're gonna hold on to. Honestly, that's the best melee. Like people that aren't good enough to consistently shine on a shield. That just means that like our combos will go on for longer because we're not good at defensive play.
Yeah, we're gonna be like doing the worst DI.
All right. Yes.
Let's try the Arcadian and fantasy football term is like you only can play flex players.
Ooh. Dang.
Like your starting running back is like RB1 of the week is Tony Pollard.
Or like year 5 of a league, anyone that's ever won the league before can't be a part of it that season. And it's just five teams that have never won before.
It's just 5 teams. 5 teams that's a funny angle. Yeah.
Are you hearing any buzzing right now? I hate to do the sound check on stream, but I just had to plug in my headset. Are you or anyone in the chat hearing? Okay, nice. All right, the last melee note, and then we'll get back to the Dynasty talk. I know we've got some live stream asks. The next time that you're gonna rewatch the same YouTube video for the 5th time while you're eating your lunch, watch the Super Smash Brothers Melee documentary by East Point Pictures, I believe.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Fact check me, Evan. Let me know if I can. It's a beautiful watch. All right. Thoughts on moving the 101 as a rebuilder? This is about to disappear. I actually clutched this up. It just disappeared. For what will be an early 27 first, a late 27 first, plus Chris Rodriguez. Very real chance the early 27 is the 101. So you're moving Jeremiah Love for the 101, most likely next year, a late 27 first, and Chris Rodriguez. That's so tough to me because I need to see this league before answering this question. Because if I don't have my 27 first next year, I'm doing everything I can to make the playoffs, even if my team's terrible.
Wait, thoughts on moving? No, isn't he moving the current year?
Yes.
101.
Well, I'm talking about the projection that next year will be the 27 first that's being acquired.
Oh, like
assuming it's not their own.
The person trading away this year's 101 doesn't have their pick next year.
Yeah.
Because I think I would just do it because the class is going to be deeper. It gives me extra flexibility. If it is going to be the 101, like I don't have the issue of Jeremiah Love scoring too many points and decreasing my pick.
Yeah.
And then I have extra picks. And then this late first, what happens if he makes the playoffs and then loses round 1? And it becomes the 107, the 108. And now I'm like, oh man, I have the 102, the 103, and the 108 in the most hyped class in 5 years or something.
I would need to see the league before I can confidently answer this question. Yeah, it would need to be a certainty that there's no way that team could put together any sort of potentially making the playoffs roster, or if it's your own. If it's your own, it's a different story. If it's your own and you're tanking, I can show you the league. Yeah, shoot the league ID either in here or in the sleeper chat. If you could just post the Dynasty Daddy link, that's the easiest for me while I'm stressed on stream pulling things up. But we can make it work. All right, in early drafts, I'm gonna speed run through these while we're transitioning to the live stream asks. In early drafts, what's the biggest spread in draft position you've seen? I've seen Claire go 201 and 405 so far for the biggest. Shribbling is probably massive in terms of, I talked about seeing a 112 Shribbling, and then he's not still 999, right? the first day of
no, Sleeper tweeted that they updated their ADP, so I don't think they did, or they have them that low anymore.
Oh, Coach F is trying to get me in the Charlie Daddy draft. I just got a 2/4 for the 312. Love that. Love trading 2/4 for a 312. That's
tempting, right? You gotta load up the taxi squad
in the best ball league where you can't.
We need to break down that trade live. We got to talk about it for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Give me a minute, guys. This is important. Should be noted, this is a league full of OSU fans. I could get a haul for Jeremiah Smith. This is a deeper analysis. We'll get you on the live stream ask docket. That's a big boy trade. Selling boxes. Let's go.
I think the biggest thing for me is, do you have your own first round?
Yeah.
Because if you have your own first round, I'm fine selling for next year's early pick, late pick that could be hopefully early, and then just say, hey, I'm just gonna pack it in for 27.
And yeah, stacking your own. Like, man, do people know I'm on stream right now? I keep getting trade offers. Actually, you know what it is? It's rookie draft season, baby. We're back. People are sending offers out. Let's go. It's not just me.
I know. Hey, we got like 2-3 weeks of this high of all these people grinding trades on the clock, all this stuff, and then summer hits. So you got to enjoy it while it's here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, never mind. I'm not happy anymore. I just got sent a trade that I declined earlier today. The same trade. That's never happened to me before. Has that ever happened to you?
I had someone do that. Yeah, I had someone do that to me today as well. I was like, I thought I declined this trade.
It's the exact same trade. Okay, sorry. That was a big.
I had someone that it broke my brain. I thought my site was bugged because on the Dynasty Daddy site, if you link your sleeper, you can pull all your pending trades on the homepage, so you can have a list of all the current trades you have out. Mm-hmm. I had 2 in the same league it was like the 106 for Bryce Young, and I'm like, wait a minute, like it's the same league. I'm like, what is going on here? And I thought the site was bugged. I thought he like modified the expiration date or something, and it just showed up twice on my site. And then when I went into sleeper, it's like, no, he just like double tapped me with 2 Bryce Young for 106s.
Messed up. No, and it's one of those trades. It's a 2 for 2, so it was 2 players for like my early, or like 2 of my mid-second picks that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the type of trade where you can swap in, whatever veteran crappy players you want to swap in for that kind of trade. And it wasn't even a swap. Honestly, I probably should take it. And that's why I'm not telling you the players. I don't want you guys to shame me into taking it. Let me take my Antonio Williams.
Well, we'll just have you share your screen and then maybe accidentally switch over to the trade section.
All right. 204.
We'll see all your pending trades.
All right. I'll give you the context while I'm pulling up this live stream ask, because it's taking me a second mentally.
Are you doing the one with the? Is it a live stream ask or the?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit this Phil George one. Okay, just because I'm thinking strategically, Jeremy. The live stream asks are people in the Discord. We've already acquired their Discord edition, but potentially we could get.
Well,
Phil
I also mean like
to join the Discord.
Phil is locked in on the chat too, so we not be like, hey Phil, wait 30 minutes. Yeah.
Phil, get in the Discord. That's your homework. If you're not already. Wait, why is this not? Okay, I got it. Don't worry, guys. I've used this site before. All right, the 204 and the 207, or J.K. Dobbins and Khalil Shakir in a 12-team start 10. Your bench is tight. You're gonna have to cut some Greg Dulcich type players if you make that trade.
Do you know what his team is? I guess you looked up the 101.
Sorry, this is my team. I'm telling you my trade.
Oh.
My team is sick. I've got really strong.
I thought we're doing Phil George.
I'm pulling it up. I told you I was doing All right, fine. Fine. I won't. We won't do my J.K. Dobbins trade right now. Dude,
Will's bummed.
Phil, I don't know my Discord password either. I don't have Discord on my phone. Discord's like 2-factor authentication is the worst in the world. And by worst, I mean it's the best. And you like have to find your codes to plug in. Jeez. Hey, not Carlisle. Let's go. I forgot. All right. So.
Oh, yeah, he has his 27 first.
Has his 27 first.
I'm probably doing that.
But the big question.
That's the 103, 105.
You are getting Chris Rodriguez is the piece of the puzzle. You're getting Brady 7 goats. So how bad is this Brady 7 goat team? Trust the process. All right, good start.
Yeah.
All right. Tua Shador, JJ. They have the 107 and 110.
It's Tyler's. Is it Tyler's pick?
But I think it's this team's though. I think that's the team,
okay.
but that team has this first. Team. Yeah, they're just trying to get Jeremiah Love. Chuba.
Yeah, then it's even more motive of like if Jeremiah Love hits on that other guy's roster, it's not like it's impacting where your pick is.
Yeah.
If it's the trust process is first, you take it. You're saying you get Jeremiah Smith plus another 27 first?
You are Jonathan Brooks, Pollard. I guess this team is like, especially if you taxi your 103, 105, like this team could position themselves as taking your own 27 first. Just start. I mean, Cousins starting. Maybe this is a. Well, you might take Mendoza there. If Mendoza goes to the 104, maybe you're trading Kirk Cousins if you're like taking this team's pick. Yeah, it looks like these other teams are probably competing. The other frauds. All right, I'm with it. This team's bad enough. Approved. Not even Prime LT can save that team. Dang. I kind of just hit the tail end of LaDainian Tomlinson. Jamal Charles was kind of like my elite fantasy running back of my lifetime.
Yeah, it was like Jamal Charles.
I mean, Le'Veon Bell, obviously.
LT. I remember my first fantasy football league was a middle school elective.
Oh,
and we had to.
Shout out to that teacher.
It was a math teacher that was like, we'll just calculate all the stats by hand, and I can like write it off as like an educational class.
That's it.
So
Mendoza will be
I remember like Adrian Peterson, Jamal Charles, Chris Johnson. I remember all those guys. That's also where I learned how good Drew Brees was. Because when I was just like in middle school, I didn't really pore over stats or anything. And I'm just like, Drew Brees threw for how many yards? Had how many touchdowns?
No, Antonio Brown, obviously, Michael Thomas. That's honestly, I definitely fell for the Michael Thomas resurgence because of how insane and impactful Michael Thomas was on my youth journey into fantasy football. Those PPR scam seasons of 200 receptions.
I mean, it was Michael Thomas and both Antonio Brown as well. But I mean, Antonio Brown was less PPR scammy, but it's still like that's kind of the idea of a dynasty wide receiver one is. It's like Antonio Brown just like crushing it every single year. And frankly, we don't really have those that often where it's just like 50 like prime. It's 50 prime fantasy weeks in a row of just elite production.
All right. I was trying to put some math together because I saw this note. The team I would trade the 101 to has 3 high-end tight ends. Could pay for Loveland and try to flip him. Are you trying to do that extra work with some of your contending pieces? The wide receiver room's pretty weak. JSN, Drake London. And you have... Where'd you go? Oh, Chris. I had the Chris filter on.
I can't believe this team wants to do that.
The Jeremiah Love trade?
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
I feel like this team is kind of locked and loaded to go now. Like I'd be like, can I buy a win now piece and then just know in the back of my mind, hey, if everything goes wrong and this team somehow doesn't win, currently number 1 overall value and number 1 starter rank, if they don't win, oh, sick, it's okay. I have Jeremiah Love added to this roster. Yeah, like to me, I'm like, I feel like that's more exciting, especially since I only have.
Oh, yeah. This is interesting.
I kind of just need a flex player in this range.
It's a 12x9, and you can. It's
pretty shallow.
It is 2 wide receivers only, 2 running backs, 2 flex. So, starting Gibbs, Hampton, Love. When your wide receivers you only have to start JSN in London. I kind of see trying to overpay for just a sick running back core instead of investing I feel
like if I was him though, I'd be like pushing for someone that I know has more production and not stuck with like a Jinky season. You know, like be like, can I get a Bijan?
I agree. Yeah. I love, and I have the 101 on some contending teams. And that definitely is crossing my mind a little bit of, the possibility of the one thing with Love is I do think he is a better pass catching prospect than Genty was. So I do think that the Jacoby Brissett season, I think is going to be less of a dumpster fire. I mean, if we get Carson back week 3, we'll see, but I think it's going to be less of a dumpster fire than
Hope
what
so.
the Raiders had last
All
season.
my Bex chairs.
Yeah, right. With like, I mean, say what you will about the Cardinals' offensive line. They did attack it in the offseason in the draft, and it is better than the Raiders last season. Brissett, I mean, I just think the downside of like the terrible Genty games, I don't think are in Love's outcomes, but I do think he gets vultured by Algier. The other running backs are involved enough, and the offense is not great. Could happen, but yeah. I'm with you. I agree. All right. Yeah, the 3-team trades are tough. I think the one issue that if you start doing that, where you're investing picks and other assets into players, like you do still have to do the legwork to flip them. Now, Loveland, I think, is elite enough that you probably could find somebody that would take him on, but it's not 10 in premium. So I think there's a little bit less interest, especially in a shallower league. 12 by 9.
Yeah, I mean, if I was you, give me the 2 first-round picks in 2027. And I feel fine with that.
All right, I've got a big announcement, guys. The Will Sanders FF household is getting fiber internet Friday. Huge.
That is exciting.
Big.
The guy when he came to set up my fiber internet, had AirPods in and was listening to Minecraft videos, and then would try to like talk to me. And I was like in the middle of like working on Dynasty Daddy features, and he was just like trying to be my friend. And I was like kind of in the zone. I was like, I don't really know.
What's the fiber? What do I have to look forward to? You know, we got done talking about the Melee talk. We should do the fiber internet installation.
Yeah. They had to like drill a hole in the wall. It's like there's like some like fiber connection point that they'll come out, and then they'll run a wire through it. And then after that, it's pretty much to just plug it into your router.
Okay.
I know some will give you a router. Like I know Google. I have Google Fiber, and that's what Google Fiber did.
Shout out to Surf Internet. They're giving me, yeah. Actually, I don't know. Not shout out yet. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know next Tuesday if it's a shout out.
The internet's gonna be, our streams are gonna be on another level.
Yeah. Well, I'm just seeing like I nothing is dropping, I don't think, but I get the little OBS. No frames dropped, but I see the little like bars going from green to like yellow. I get a little nervous, self-conscious about it. But I don't think we've got anything dropped yet. Honestly, it's just for my Rocket League. I've been lagging.
Hey, chat has not. Yeah, it's just for Rocket League. It's not for the streams. It's for Rocket League.
No, shout out to Tricky Trev. It's for us to finally get out of champ. We've been hard stuck for a while. All right, I'm pulling up JD5s. I think that was the next earliest one.
Pull that one up as well. Yeah, is that the?
And then Patty Mills, and then Alv. You guys are next. I'll get the queue going. All right, I'm gonna get you a question while I do that. What do you think about Devonta Smith and the 210 for the 110, 112, and 201? Any format, you're not doing that, and it's a smash. Oh, this is a super
for
flex.
Devonta Smith for 2 late firsts. And I mean, basically just 3 late picks in this class. I'm probably doing that. I mean, it would have to be like an insanely deep league for me to be like, you know what, I want Omar Cooper and Denzel Boston bets over the guy that's probably going to be the wide receiver 1 on the Eagles.
Yeah. 100%.
Will Kai saying, will Dynasty Daddy get a feature for 3-way trades? We support 3-way trades for viewing them and accepting them or rejecting them in Sleeper with our new Sleeper integrations. We don't support them in the trade calculator yet. It is on the list. It will probably be something I try to look at in the summer. Right now, it's draft season. I have some other things that are higher priority for me, like doing the not automated, but the mass optimize all my lineups at once feature and things like that. I want to get that stuff all set up so then I don't really have to worry about it right before. But a 3+ a way of making it to where you can build your 5-team trades or whatever, I do think will be something I will add because people want it a lot. And I'll be honest, I don't see a ton of 3-way trades coming through, so I don't know if it will be the most practical, but it's certainly something on the list.
All right. All right, we're ready for you, Kai. Let's get you in here. Boom.
I'll read this one comment from Riley. It says, average
Oh,
positional
yeah.
war on the league format page is amazing, bro. Thank you for helping me dominate my leagues. I appreciate it. Glad you enjoy that. If you are a part of the club, definitely check out the Captured War stuff as well. I added that all to the league format tool, and I have a video coming out. It's currently out on my Patreon. If you want to see it early for free, you can go to the Patreon link and watch it there. And I'll be posting a video just talking war and positional values more tomorrow. So stay tuned for that.
100%. I remember I used to try to calculate my own war back in the day in like my redraft leagues using like
Dang, that is some like caveman etching on the wall.
It's 100%. It started with purely like fantasy points based off of like it went back to like, okay, this site I'm pretty sure the rankings are based off of, half PPR, Yahoo or whatever. But this league is full PPR and there's like these different bonuses and like passing yards are slightly different. So I used to like calculate out fantasy points, and then I like learned about replacement, like wins against replacement, and I tried to like follow. Thank you, Jeremy, for the pretty site and the graphs and making it easier. Shout out to the people that work on that stuff. So it's not me.
I remember in college I had like a fantasy draft, and I wasn't super into fantasy at the time, but I just made like a spreadsheet. I just copied over like a bunch of like raw PPR stats or whatever, and I like made some dumb tiers, and it turned out I won, but it was like a church league back in the day. And I picked Cam Newton first in a 1-quarterback like start 8 league, and everyone just laughed at me. And then Cam Newton won MVP, so that kind of worked for me. Doesn't usually work out that way.
Yeah, I had the freaking inverse where QB scoring was so underrated that I reached on Patrick Mahomes, which like taking Patrick Mahomes early in redraft is like the classic idiot, you don't know ball.
Yeah.
But the way the scoring was set up, it was like 20 yards instead of 25 yards to get a point, and then 6-point passing touchdown. Like it was really juiced, and I calculated it out, and I was like, no, dude, like this is, and it was like his most disappointing season like he had ever had in his career. It's like, okay, great, I'm an idiot, I guess. Win some, you lose some. All right, we got the super
when you
team.
pull out the hand-drawn war calculation.
Yeah.
You're like, no, trust me, it's good.
Check the doc. Obvious contending team, super team, single quarterback, but my tight end 2 is Jatavian Sanders. Almost nobody wants to trade with me because of my status, and I'm sort of in a pickle. I feel like I can ride without a backup tight end or Sanders for the year, but I just like having the insurance. Got Jadarian Price at the 107 in my rookie draft a couple days ago. Dang, you were taking him at the 104 in the rookie mock, so the W pick. And I'm looking to build my running back room from here. Any tips to solidify my chances of winning a championship? I definitely want to improve my depth since I don't have running backs after Price and wide receivers after Evans, McLaurin. Dang, you can flex pretty heavy though. So it's a single quarterback, but it's deep enough. How many? 12 teams start 10. 0.5 tight end premium. Interesting. All right, so no picks in 27. You don't have your own first in 28 either.
You do have a ton of
Caleb
28
Williams.
seconds, which is at least gives you some sort of flexibility for, oh no, Olave goes down, I can plug and play, go out and buy someone if I need to.
You're not playing one of Terry or Mike Evans. Like I get the whole like you don't have wide receivers after that, but I mean if you can flex Jadarian Price this year, you don't feel as bad about that. I assume this is just like heavy flex versus having to start all those receivers. Yeah, 4 flex. You only have to start 2 receivers.
I think
do you care? Do you care about tight end too? Super team behind Kyle Pitts, or would you
no,
just
not really.
drop Thornton for Mike Gesicki or Noah Fant or whatever tight end you think is gonna run 60% of the routes for a decent team?
Yeah, no, I mean I'm fine. I mean it's full PPR, half point tight end premium. It's not going to be a super impactful position, especially with how many wide receivers, running backs you have to start anyway. Like you're starting, like, what is it? Not eight, just pure running back wide receivers in this type of league. Like this is like, if it was a super flex league, this would be like a 12 team start 11. You got to treat investments as wide receiver, running back. Pretty much every move I make needs to be centered around those two positions.
And the insurance thing, I mean, is there any trade deadline in this league? Like, I am not a big insurance guy in terms of like my tight end 2. And I'm not going to talk about the QB2 stuff because I know in these single quarterback leagues, even like Caleb Williams guys, it's hard to move.
I was scoping it out. I was like, is there any team where you could squint and think Caleb Williams could do something? But there's nothing.
Week 10 deadline. Oh, that is brutal. Week 10? Dang. They just don't like trading. So any of the seconds, do people move for tight ends?
I think I'm fine keeping Pitts for now. Like, it's going to be a new offense. We don't really know. Like, I'm not super urgent on that. And it's also tight end in a 1 QB. Like, there's certainly teams that are probably open to selling a little bit low on sorry, some of these team names. But
yeah, I had to scroll down.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's this league. I don't know. I mean, I think in a way this is kind of a wait and see league. Like, I think the biggest weakness you have, to me, isn't tight end, it's your picks. Right? No 27, no significant 27 picks. You don't have your 28 first. I'm not going to be super urgent to have a better super team in May. I want these picks to try to last for as long as I can. And you already, it's most of my leagues are still in rookie draft season. So I don't have many leagues that have the 29 picks currently added to the list of picks. But I don't want to have to dip into those too much. Like, I think this team is built to win now. Now, if you do lose, it's going to be because, well, Amarion Hampton sucks. Like, it'll be Jefferson has another bad year. It's not going to be because, oh man, I traded a second and picked up, I don't even know a tight end. I mean, you picked up Isaiah Likely, and that was the big difference. Like, that's not going to be the big difference. It's going to be your studs not performing. And you just get hit by injuries. And then if you buy the wrong players in the offseason, it's a lot easier to buy when it's week 5 and you're like, oh, this player is performing well. I have data I can rely on, and I need this player now. And this team is also like actively accepted that they're rebuilding.
Right. Your team is that's the big thing right there. Like your team is nasty enough too, especially with the week 10 deadline. If rebuilders can't trade, like leading up to the playoffs, a team that's 2-7 heading into week 10 is going to be willing to trade you, whatever, George Kittle for whatever pivot or second plus that you want to do, if you really want to upgrade the tight end spot or have a second guy leading into that. Because I don't hate, like, post trade deadline, if you're like, my team is ready, that's the only spot is like tight end, whatever, for a bye week 13 for the Falcons or whatever, where I'm fighting for a playoff spot. I'm okay with that if you want to send a second for something like that, but I don't think you need to do anything like that right now. Are there any tier up moves with one of the receivers I can do for proven guy, Luther Burden plus? Yeah, the only tough thing is the plus. Like, I would love tacking like if you had more firsts or something, like the Luther Burden hype into like a stud. But I
Mhm.
don't know if you have the flexibility to do that, and I don't think you want to move your running backs or honestly anyone.
I think too, this is a league where like not every player needs to be a smash player. And why do I say that? Is because you're a super team already. And a lot of these players, if you were in a 12 team, a start 8, start 9, this would not be a super team. But it's because every single position is Igbuka, Olave, Burden, Evans. You know, like you have enough solid guys that a lot of these other teams are not going to be able to compete. Like the second best team, has James Conner currently as one of their better starters. He's starting 3 tight ends currently. Like a lot of teams don't have the luxury of all these players just loaded up. And in a deeper league like this, you can take the risk of what if Burden isn't amazing? Well, it's okay because it's kind of watered down by the 9 other starters on your roster. Whereas if it was a shallower league, starting Burden and having him score 8 points and not 16 plus, that would hurt.
Yeah.
But in this league, it's like, oh, you can kind of ride the ups and downs of Burden. And if Burden hits, then awesome. Now you have another, green number up there with Jefferson and Neighbors that everyone's hyping up.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about Malik Davis? Looks like he's second on the Cowboys depth chart. Super low roster percentage. Doesn't seem like they brought on any competition. Yeah, he had a pretty strong week 18, I believe, if I remember, when Javonte was hurt at the end of the year. But obviously with the extension, but yeah, no, I mean, he should 100% be the same way that we talk about, the same hype and feeling people had about Sean Tucker, last year. Not in terms of what I'd pay for him, but in terms of how much he should be rostered. Like any of those running backs that are one injury away from giving you 18 opportunities, 100% needs to be rostered. So, yeah.
I agree. I think he's an interesting guy, and they clearly like him because he was there years before, and he doesn't have the consistency of the Sean Tucker's guaranteed like a 20-something point game every year, but you just don't know when. But
week 17, 20 for 103.
He did look pretty solid.
20 for 103 in that Washington game.
And if you have the roster spots, I definitely feel confident holding on to him.
All right, I'm going to get the next one up. It's got a couple of trades that I'm going to be saving off and pulling up. So it'll take me a second, but I see a question there from Greasy if you want to hit that one. Also, shout out to Riley talking about the captured war.
Shout out to Riley for joining the Dynasty Daddy Club. I appreciate that. Enjoy the captured war. It's a fun metric. I'm still tweaking and improving it as we tinker around with it. Anyway, Greasy K, Lemon or 2 2027 mid-seconds and a 2029 mid-second. I'm going to say I'm still going Lemon here. I get seconds. The issue is the gap between an early second and a late second is night and day because you're except in this class, and it's like the 106 and the 109 is night and day. But usually those early seconds, you can get interesting bets. You can get like a Matthew Golden, a Tyler Warren type player. And then the 210 is a random dart throw that you hope becomes anything. So for me, it's like, let me give a guy that does have really good draft capital, does have a profile people enjoy. And all it takes is, a couple good games of Mekhi Lemon being a PPR scam machine, and everyone's going to be back in on him.
All right.
How's it going over there, Will?
Vet wide receiver. I'm coming up with another question to ask you. All right. What? No. Here we go. What first round rookie pack will you, 1, be able to buy for much cheaper after the rookie season, and 2, want to buy when their value is depressed after the rookie year?
Am I going to answer Jadarian Price?
Well, I don't. Do you think?
If he's going 104.
Well, I mean more like, yeah, I guess depressed from where the value is right now. But are you buying? I see 2
Omar Coopers.
Omar Coopers. I think the Jets guys make sense. What about do we think KC's going to have a strong year?
Like I think I think that honestly, it's like the Jets and the Browns. There's so many like Sadiq, Cooper, KC, Denzel Boston. Like there's a lot of decent draft capital players that ended up on teams no one likes. And after a full year of information, being like, okay, this is how they're going to use them, then you kind of know which ones you actually should pay up for, versus kind of taking a shot on one of the four. I do think KC has the best path of being a highly valued wide receiver, but I don't think he'll ever truly be super elite. I think his ceiling is probably like T. Higgins in terms of value.
All right, can I give you the KC story though? Because I'm part of the propaganda team. I communicate the propaganda because I'm an inside man and I consume it, I eat it, and I spit it out.
You're taking the KC lobbying money.
I'm a part of the system. All right, Todd Monken, Zay Flowers, KC, Zay Flowers for the Browns. The Browns suck this year. Good QB class next year. I don't think you'll be able to buy. If like KC has like decent route share, has a couple decent games, I don't know if you'll be able to buy him for the same price he's going right now in rookie drafts. So it's actually kind of sad because I've not been able to get KC. I don't have a lot of like 106, 107s that I would take KC in or have been able to trade up to do that. But I think that'll be the mindset. I mean, maybe like Boston. I know Boston's another hit because he's a Browns guy. But I think both of those guys, depending on how this year goes in terms of like situation, I think people will whisk away, okay, the Browns suck again, but look, they're on, Arch Manning watch,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Browns are the worst situation either. Because like the Jets are kind of depressing because they have Garrett Wilson. There's a clear number one wide receiver. And, Sadiq, Omar Cooper, at best is wide receiver 2 when we're already sad that wide receiver 1 doesn't get the volume and the usage that we want him to. With the Browns, it's like, I don't know, 2 years ago, and I know it was a different quarterback, was Jameis Winston and things like that, but I mean, Jerry Jeudy was blowing up the league for a couple weeks, and that's kind of the thing that I'm like, is this Brown situation could look completely different, and there's two young, relatively highly drafted players entering that situation. So I probably lean one of the Browns.
Yeah.
And I think if KC's one I can pick, I would certainly pick KC just because he has the easiest level. Even if he has like a mediocre box score, if his like target share numbers are decent, people are going to be still holding on to hope going into year 2, year 3.
For sure. All right, I've got the actually, let's go this guy.
I'm still a believer. I'm still an Adonai Mitchell believer. This is a perfect name of like when you're in the second round of the 2026 draft.
Yeah.
Everyone has an Adonai Mitchell like love affair. And that is what this class is. It's just like all these wide receivers that like everyone has one. Everyone's like Antonio Williams or Bernard or whatever. There's a million players in this range because there's just not a strong second round. So it's just kind of like, okay, I have to make second round players that make me feel good about making these picks.
The Cooper stuff too, like a lot of the Cooper stuff that like makes me not excited to take him at the 110, even though he just needs to be like a 109, 110 pick in most drafts, just based off of draft capital, and profile. Like I liked Cooper. It's like a lot of like duplicative stuff with what you expect Sadiq's role to be. So I mean, I think there's a real possibility where Cooper is not the 2 wide receiver sets guy, and it's Garrett Wilson, Adonai Mitchell still, who kind of is that more sacrificial X guy.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. All right, I've got shout out to Patty Mills. I don't have the chat pulled up, but I do want to acknowledge the chat message because you're making people self-conscious, Jeremy. Patty Mills.
Oh.
And I'll click over to the Discord here.
Is it the last dance tier? Is that what it is?
Thoughts on moves for this team. I don't like that I now have the last dance, but I feel like a solid contender. That's messed up. And I think it probably has a lot to do with the like Lamar, Saquon, Henry, and then Kittle, Kelsey, like being a part of the core of the point scoring Maybe not Kittle or Kelsey as much, but
Yeah, I do want to make the Last Dance a little bit more strict in terms of like the criteria, so it's a little bit more rare. But I do think this is kind of a team that fits the narrative of Last Dance. You got Kittle, Kelsey, Barkley, Henry,
I
Lamar
think
Jackson.
maybe it's just that Last Dance does not mean this is your last year as like a strong contender. It's just more of for age
It's the Last
purposes.
Dance for this running back room, probably.
Yeah.
This tight end room for sure.
Hey man, Derrick Henry's just never gonna die. Okay.
True. I that's my number one thing. I'm never gonna bet against Derrick Henry. It's just he's just it's like LeBron.
All right, we got 2 moves, and I want you to keep in mind that these might be influenced by what you've done to our good friend Patty Mills here. Saquon and a 27-second, or Pollard, Shaheed, and the 108 in this class.
I like this deal a lot. I mean, if you're trying to win, you lock in a guy.
Okay, you scared me for a second.
Focal point of the offense, and you get a second. And what's the 108 into 2026? Okay. I'm trying to win.
You scared me for a second.
Ty Simpson.
This team has Saquon, so I might have the receive sends swapped. I am not doing this. I agree with you. I'm on the Saquon side for sure. 108 versus 27-second. There are people who are trading the 107 for a 27-second. And I'm a Shaheed guy,
Use
but
your power for good.
Yeah. You guys ever watch Strong Bad growing up? Never mind. That was going to be a brutal poll there. All right. My mom would have liked me referencing Strong Bad emails. All right. How about Pat Bryant and the 112 and 302 or the 108? Are those 4 spots?
Well, considering that ended up with this 108 was then moved for Saquon Barkley, I think it's worth it.
Okay.
Because it was Pat Bryant, the 112, the 302, Tony Pollard, and Shaheed for Saquon Barkley in a 27-second.
And we have this right? That's how this set up. I mean, that's a great U-turn. Yeah. I love it.
So maybe the Last Dance tier.
Okay, good work. Jeremy
was good. Maybe it motivated you to go out and get Saquon. It did help you get out of the tier.
But I think I remember this team. This is a team you shared before. This is a team that might have had a super team rating before, I think. Or maybe
it probably did. I mean,
I think we talked about the RB3 on this team before, if I remember correctly. Let me know, Patty. Because I remember the JD5 Lamar dart, and we talked about, like, is there any way you can move off of one of those quarterbacks or just down tier to get more production? But these were good trades. I like that. All right. Any notes to make moving forward? I feel bad.
I feel bad about scaring you, Patty Mills, this year in the chat. I didn't mean to spook you with the Last Dance. I'm working out some of these new tiers. I want to add a few more. I think it makes it a little bit more interesting.
Are you
scary?
I think they're pretty equally good. Like Drake May, Burrow, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Chase Brown, then Justin Jefferson, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, TJ Hawkinson, Goddard. I do like your team slightly more, I think. To me,
the biggest thing would be, can I move Jackson Dart for like a Roma Dunze upgrade?
I'm down. I would rather try to do that than move. I mean, would you rather? I know you would rather do that than use your first, but I mean, 14 team, man, you can't find a team that wants a Dart.
I mean, 14 team, I'm more open to just be like, screw it. Like, I can move my first.
Man,
now, that being said, like, how many people are going to value a 14 team late first round pick?
Like, this team has the 102, and maybe they're staring down Mendoza. They've got Kyler and Brissett. Like, can I get a receiver off this guy for Dart? You know, you got T-Mac and CDJSN. Can I find a way to get one of these guys? And that 102 pick, yeah, they lost the receiver, but they got Jackson Dart, and they get to draft Tate, I'm down for that.
No, I mean, I think I would certainly kick it around because I think
I do feel like that's how we've
it's
ended
hard
all these Patty Mills reviews is find one of these teams to give you something for Dart.
Well, I will say in a 14-team league, having a QB3 is probably a little bit more valuable than our like usual take of like, screw QB3s, because
Yeah.
it's gonna be much harder to get that spot start quarterback when there's more teams. There's 28 teams or
Yeah, but I
28
love
starting
this.
quarterback spots a week.
This is what you need to do, man. Mariota, Levis, Bajent, Mills.
Mhm.
Like this matters a lot more than, rostering Trey Palmer. I mean, I'm sorry to this team, but you just were the first one I saw. Trey Palmer,
Welcome
Elijah
to the
Moore,
Dynasty Daddy roster roast.
NWI, Isaiah Hodgins. Oh gosh, bot farming in Philippines 24/7. KTC ranking CJ Stroud highest. Can't convince me otherwise. Hey, I'm kind of a. All right, maybe you know what this is. Do you have this? Be honest. I'm a pretty honest guy. Okay.
Okay.
I have two things I need to say now that I said I'm an honest guy. Part of the reason I took a little while to get the Patty Mills team pulled up is because I had to respond to a trade offer. But so apologies for that for everyone. But I wanted to be honest. I find myself when I have no shares of a player, I am like moderately rooting for their downfall. And then the minute I acquire a share, I am in on the upside. And I got my first CJ Stroud because whatever Strouds I had when he was like a first round startup pick, I was like, get that off my roster. And I got some back.
His value was way too high.
I know. I'm like, oh, I'm a genius. And then now I've gotten him back for like some like Bryce Young, like the Bryce Young to CJ Stroud swaps in a deal. And now I'm like, all right, they're investing in the offensive line. Second year for some of these rookie guys. And this actually is a canon event. Is acquiring a player you've had none of and deciding that you believe in them. You're in on the upside bet.
Yeah, I mean, I think the more I think about like portfolio fantasy, I also like part of me thinks you need to just lean into like you kind of don't want a balanced portfolio in a way if you actually want to like chase the upside of winning a lot of money. Because if you have a balanced portfolio of a ton of players, then you're gonna like half your leagues are gonna win and half your leagues are gonna lose. And it's just like, well, like I have a mess of players I don't believe in. That being said, I think every player, like you mentioned, I mean Kyler Murray. Let's do the Kyler bit. Kyler Murray's been a buy on my list for the freaking past 4 years.
Where's he at right now?
Every time
let's
he's like QB 29 or something.
He's shut up enough, right? He's a reasonable dynasty price.
23. QB 23 right now.
Yes, makes sense.
I mean, it's still like you're getting a second to a first range for him.
I'm surprised Malik Willis is. I need to check on some Malik Willis prices. Not that I'm a huge Malik
He's
Willis
lower
guy.
than I thought he would be.
Yeah, I know, but I think like the them not adding to the receiver room other than
a wide receiver,
the third round, I think people were kind of penciling that in with his value. And I mean, I don't know, man. What Malik Willis does is kind of what fantasy people love. It is like a rushing quarterback that has like a pretty decent deep ball. That's like don't we love that in fantasy? We like good offensive teams though. I guess that's what we love in fantasy.
I just love this range of quarterbacks. So like QB 19, like Baker, Jared Goff, Kyler Shuck, Sam Darnold, Kyler Murray.
I'll go
gladly
down.
Take all of them, and they're so cheap.
I mean, Bryce Young, I'm gonna kind of skip over real quick, but Malik Willis, Stafford.
Hey man,
those two I'll tack on.
Football. It's gonna work. It's going to work
for fantasy scoring purposes. I'm a Bryce Young believer. I just don't want that belief to involve me starting him in fantasy football. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, thing with Bryce Young, this is my theory. This is the theory I've been working on.
All right,
I think he might be all right. Like I think he might be all right.
Oh.
I just think that he's undersized. So when it goes bad, like when he has a bad play, it just looks so bad.
Yeah, that's true.
And like it gives me like a ick. Like I just I'm, like I had one of my friends who's a Panthers fan, and he's just like, there's rumors that they might give him an extension, and he's like, I just don't know if I can sit through 4 more years of Bryce Young football. And I'm like, I kind of feel that too. Like, it's not. I was just spoiled. I had a decade of Cam Newton, which was like the
Yeah.
coolest quarterback you could root for. Like he's
Right.
like
Even the bad was awesome.
dabbing, yeah. Like even the bad, like he was like dragging 5 people on his back and like running over people. Like it was just like, and like when he made a mistake, it was like, sure, it looked bad, but like he looked like a robot, like
Yeah.
a superhero out there. And now I'm like, I feel like I'm watching like an accountant run for his life on a football field.
All right, if you had to choose, this is not what's going to happen, but just to kind of paint a picture, would you rather do like a 2-3 year Bryce Young extension, or you are forced to go through 2 years of like Geno Smith, Panthers quarterback?
No, I'd rather just give me the extension. I just don't want the jumbo. I don't want like the Tua contract. That is what I fear. Like if we get like the Sam Darnold extension, the issue is like Bryce hasn't failed bad enough to get to okay, he's on a retread rescue
playoffs
team.
last year, like it's
like
he
if,
played
if
well
it was
in that
like a
game
Kyler
too.
Murray. Like if it was like a Kyler Murray, it'd be like a little bit more interesting. But I don't know. Geno Smith, I think they didn't write back. He wrote a little bit more, but I think the book is kind of closed at this point, and I'm ready to move on.
It's on the last chapter. He went back to the place that wrote him off, and he didn't write back, and then he came back. So that was the
back, then
that was the like
then they wrote back, but it got lost in the mail for a little bit.
Okay, this is a very easy yes, even though I'm not a third QB guy. This was, I think Alv had asked this question during our, like when we were getting the stream started, but this was 112. Should I trade this 112 for Malik Willis? This team is sick. You have your own 27 first. No QB3. And I'm not usually a QB3 guy, but you don't really have any holes elsewhere. Bijan, CMC, David Montgomery, but not guy. Insane receiver room. Gadsden, and behind Gadsden, you've got Ferguson and Chig. Like, I am totally fine to send the 112 for Malik Willis. Gives you some flexibility, too. Like Malik Willis, I think, just turns into kind of like Ty Simpson, but even better, because it's a Ty Simpson that you can play, and I think is active for other teams in your league, and it's a 12 team.
There's going to be a lot of bad teams, too.
What team is trying to buy your...
There's a lot of bad teams too, and I think
wow.
I think there's a realistic chance that Malik Willis is still there next year in a better situation.
Yeah. I mean I
don't know if the Dolphins are going to get a quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's very clear that this is different than the Justin Fields Jets thing, where that was like a year, like 1.25 years is like how the vibes were. This Malik Willis thing, like I don't imagine, even if the Dolphins absolutely suck next year, it means anything other than, oh my gosh, is this the Jeremiah Smith team? Let's go. Julio Jones is on the Dolphins.
It's gonna be like Dylan Stewart. I'm all in on him. He's the best player in the draft.
Yeah, for sure.
I heard someone describe it. It was like his first steps off the line of scrimmage are like the Giannis. Like 2 steps from the free throw line to dunk or whatever, or 3-point line to dunk. If you haven't seen his highlights, you got to watch them. They're crazy.
All right. Any closing thoughts? Any picks you need to make? I don't think I'm on the clock. Oh, I just leaked all my DMs.
Oh, dang. Actually, pause the stream, everyone.
Probably not, though, because Sleeper can't even load my DMs when I try to use the desktop app. So
Dude,
I didn't leak anything.
I do not envy them, I will say. Like, performance issue on software sucks. Like, I've been getting hammered.
Getting hammered?
They're obviously on a much different...
My
site has been getting hammered.
Oh, that's funny.
Jesus Christ. But You're on the clock in Charlie, Daddy.
I am. Somebody just DM'd me and asked, I won't leak who for strategic purposes, but somebody just asked me if I want to trade out of the start throw. And you know
I
what?
want to do a little.
I do.
Go for it. Get 2 fourths.
I might take a tight end though. We'll see.
Okay, so we have. I'm looking at all my drafts currently on the clock, just for fun. I have 4. I want to see Stribling. Where the ADP of Stribling.
Yeah, this is
Is
an
this a
interesting one because
209?
wide receivers, best ball, and
Best
people
ball
don't
is 305.
people don't want to take the zeros for the running backs. Like Mike Washington here, like handcuff running back is terrible, but 4th round RB2 is like, I don't know. All right, we'll end on this.
Gotsy? Is it Gotsy?
It's gots to be. Oh, come on.
Gots to be.
I'm going to bed after that one. 101 or Bucky and Pickens?
I'm going 101.
I'm a Pickens guy. And I'm a Bucky guy too. I think it's got to be the 101.
Unless if it's like a super deep league. Is it like 12 teams, start 11, 12, then maybe I consider give me the starters, but
is your line like 11 and you kind of need, like the way your team is set up, you kind of need the additional.
It's 11 and I'm not like a super team.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like a top 1 or 2 in value and like every spot is like, well, I have to bench Jalen Waddle or something, then it's like, sure, I need to consolidate.
And it's like I at value, I love Bucky and Pickens, but I do also hate that it's like 2 bad vibes guys for Jeremiah.
Yeah, it's both. I don't get. I can't wait to do. Yeah, I'm sure we will be ripping more startup drafts at once the rookie buzz dies a little bit. I can't wait to draft more Bucky Irving and just have everyone yell at me because I didn't realize the vibes were so low on Bucky Irving.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's definitely the Kenneth Gainwell part. I think that's the big thing is people seeing Aaron Rodgers check down 7 times and thinking that Kenneth Gainwell just absorbs all running back targets. And when he enters the backfield, it's like a trap card.
It's like he Thanos snaps, and if it was Bijan would get Thanos snaps out of existence for Kenneth Gainwell.
All right, GG's. Good stream. We will be working on a rookie rankings. We'll probably go 2 rounds, kind of going through where we're at post NFL draft, where we're at with how we would handle each pick, all things equal.
Jadarian Price 102.
Yes.
That's what next stream's going to be about.
If you want them.
That's where we're going to be at.
Appreciate it, guys. Hey, appreciate you. Thank you guys for hanging, for drafting. For I didn't have to beg too hard tonight. Thanks, Jeremy.
I always appreciate the people in the chat. The chat makes it so much easier to have fun and just enjoy these streams. So I always appreciate everyone chatting, hanging out, joining the mock drafts. It's a lot of fun.
I feel more in tune with the community when I'm in the Discord, when I'm in the live streams each week. I feel like I'm getting a good pulse on all the Jadarian Price sickos. I like to keep my tabs on the 102 Price coming next stream.
I know.
Link in the description.
Price hype is crazy. Join
the Discord if you're not in there. We will be, and by we, I mean I will work on the Google form for the upcoming. We'll figure out how we're going to handle the format stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably give people a vote or a say in what they want those leagues to look like.
I feel like we need to make them a little like everyone needs to have a little bit different flavor,
yeah.
I'm not saying one quarterback because I know that scared you away, but
I'd like to do like a maybe not as crazy as like the fight was it the fight night leagues that Diaz was talking about, but I wouldn't mind like a deep something with some PPC, something a little juicy.
Yeah, I can see that being fun.
Appreciate you all. Link in the description. Join the Discord if you're not in there. We will be talking about those leagues on the streams, but the actual form will be in the Discord. So get in there if you're not. Those are Discord community leagues. Anything else, Jeremy, before I hit the outro button?
Um, not really. I mean, this is rookie mock or rookie draft season. We're past mock season, even though we're still running mocks. So I hope everyone is having a good time drafting in the third round, which I am not. It's always a pain taking those picks. I'm like, I should have traded out of these, but I think it's exciting. We got a lot of buzz around fantasy football. A lot of exciting things coming to the site as well. So continuing to work on those. I'm really hoping. I got some traveling this weekend, but I'm hoping I can get these the start sit optimizer out this week, so that I just don't have to worry about it. And then we're all set for the actual season when you can just press, hey, start everyone for me, please. But I will say, if there's any other features, tiers, anything, as well as like engagement with the Discord, I feel like I want to find ways to make it more interesting and active in there as well. So if y'all have any ideas and want to be like, hey, I think this would be cool, whether it's doing stuff with the leagues or other things, that's what it's for. It's for the people.
100%. I'm with it. And yeah, I'm with it. Link in the description.
The battery's running on low. Link in the description.
The bladders hitting. I gotta hit the buzzwords. Hit the 2 hours and 36 minutes of the stream. Smash the like button, guys, on your way out.
I feel like we need to have a counter or something, like a stat tracker of this live stream. How long did it take us to say hit the like?
This one was brutal. I need the big Diaz hitting me with the. And I forgot who else did it last time, but know that I remember your presence and not your name. So if you watch this back, if you made it this far, all right, I'm gonna hit the outro button so I can go pee. Appreciate you all. Peace out. See you next Tuesday. Actually, no. See you in the Discord, like the description. Boom.